I'll be booking them like Palace, puffing on my chalice. True say I'm an addict, 24 carat, don't make me have to grab it. Cabbage, niggas can't manage. That's another slapping. Niggas thinking that I'm famous, that I won't slap it. Nigga, I'm erratic. Erdington savage, yeah, you call this modern warfare. When we double tap it, clicking and we clacking, shots burning through this jacket. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Yeah, I'm back and I'm attacking. Nah, I ain't capping. Real life rapping, switched it up and got it cracking. Get you vanished from a napping. Bare nerves racking. Ramming, carjacking, call it lifetime sacking. Yeah, the Cali's in the air now. Got the tracking. 2017 Brits, still brought the packing. Pop, passing, catch you lacking with my cannon. Birmingham assassin, yeah, burning with a passion. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Can't walk around the hood that I'm good round. I was down and out, but I'm good now. If you saw my last check, then you would frown. So much dripping around my neck, yeah, I could drown. Set the tone like a new phone. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just roll the zoo for the root hole. Set the tone like a new phone. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just roll the zoo for the root hole. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time.
Yo, I stepped in with no dough, just 2 ounces on tip, and access to the chrome 3/5. Like let a nigga try me, bet he ends up with his face all on his whip, but no one wanted to try me, cause they knew I'd let it bang and kinda slimy, catch me creeping out a whip. Soon as you see me, you see the stick, bang. Never been pranked, chased him while he's with his man and tried to get him near and then for making threats towards the gang. Jumped on the music, started spitting what I live. Now nearly half the income it makes legit. Might just fuck around and buy a crib. These niggas ain't buying shit. You better buy a stick before you start buying shit. You get sucked. I'm with no stick, you be fucked. Don't even come around the gang with bad vibes. Ask him when I came on him, how many times he got joked, and he'll tell you I don't really give a fuck. You know, since a kid I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and I'm rolling. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up. Now all these niggas bitches wanna focus. From a kid I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and I'm rolling. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up. Now all these niggas bitches wanna fuck.
You big in that. Lazy niggas just wanna piggyback. It's crazy. Crazies niggas don't wanna give me that. Babies, I made a big impact. Straight from the pavements. If it ain't me, then who's got the payments? And man ain't gonna entertain that. Straight fake entertainment. Failures used to be soldiers. Jumped out the spaceship, thought we were aliens. Creep with the ghost, cause used could be Canaan. You know, DMX fave used to be Damien. Bag of those flavors, stand up with soldiers and they owe favors. Better know that man ain't gonna take no. This is God man want slag off man's alias. Break up the cookie them. We won't pray for the pussy them. Gunshot for you Peter Pans. Straight put a hook in them. Snakes in the grasses, snake in the grass, get away from the darkness. Yeah, heartless, HB and arsonist, Stacey and shaking their asses. The good as pum pum, she knock on that door. Like do-do-dum-dum. And holla that boss, you know how I flex. 20 grand room, yeah. Nighttime creep cause we're foxes. They took the boxes straight up to top stick. Strapped to this breakfast, wait for the frosties. Don't ask the cost cause the cost kinda costly.
As a kid, I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and I'm ballin'. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up. Now all these niggas bitches wanna fuck. Cause from a kid, I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and I'm ballin'. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up. Now all these niggas bitches wanna fuck.
I'll be booking them like Palace, puffing on my chalice. True say I'm an addict, 24 cali, don't make me have to grab it. Cabbage, niggas can't manage. That's another slapping. Niggas thinking that I'm famous, that I won't slap it. Nigga, I'm erratic. Erdington Savage, yeah, you call this modern warfare. When we double tap it, clicking and we clacking, shots burning through his jacket. Yeah, I'm back and I'm attacking. Nah, I ain't capping. Real life rapping, switched it up and got it cracking. Get you vanished from a napping. Bare nerves racking. Ramming, carjacking, call it life, like sacking. Yeah, caddies in the air now. Got the tracking. 2017 bricks, still brought the packing. Pop, passing, catch you lacking with my cannon. Birmingham assassin, yeah, I burn him with a passion. Can't walk around the hood, but I'm good round. I was down and out, but I'm good now. If you saw my last check, then you would frown. So much drip around my neck, yeah, I could drown. Set the tone like a new phone. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just roll the suit for the room home. Set the tone like a new phone. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just roll the suit for the room home.
Zeno Records. That nigga Nina, he got way too much pride. Ask these rappers for a feature, I got way too much pride. The chubby wife was skeeter, I got way too much pride. With under 3 liters, I got way too much pride. I got way too much pride. I don't let no violation slide. I swear this back came with no pride. Niggas my word cup. Stop trying to catch my money, get your weed done. Your man was that niggas my word cup. Stop trying to test my money. Yeah, but when them days are mad slow. Now I come from racing in the Lambo. Still get paid off now. I bought an arcade in the band.
Okay.
Alright, man, gonna get into it. It's down. Alright, shalom, man. You know what I mean? This is On the Ends, man. You know what I mean? On the Ends, episode 9 with the Warhead Captain was shut me up.
Most High Christ, man. Listen, now, let me see if Dom go back. Let's see if Dom go back break the dress code. Cause we ain't planned this shit. Gangster wearing black, cause Shatter don't wear pink. Let's see if Dom go back break the dress code.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, Dom go back break the dress code. Dom go back say, nah, F that. I'm a Benjamite today. Everybody gonna see me.
That's right. Yeah, so you know what I mean? On the ends, episode 29, man.
Parasha, if you could adjust your mic a little bit, you're kind of low. Put it closer to you or something. You might want to move the phone, yeah.
Come on.
You could leave it standing, but maybe angle your mic up so it could pick up your voice a little bit more.
Kind of one concert. How's that, sir?
Yeah, that a little bit better.
Kind of one concert. Yeah, on the ends, episode 29 with the warhead Captain Mashap Mayum. You know what I mean? Got Officer Dungabar on my right.
Boom. That the man right there. Listen, I listened to Dungabar class this week. I was like, well, good night. Go ahead and teach every day, huh?
That's right.
He had a real good class this week. I mean, it ain't really surprising him, but it's whenever he do get in his zone. You know what I mean? Dungabar, boy, he take them to the depths of the water and leave them there, and he be smiling. He be cool. You know what I mean? Hey, do me a favor, Dungabar, if shift the camera to your right. So, because it's a little bit too much over Parasha's shoulder, so you could be in the shot a little bit more.
Is that all right, sir?
A little bit more. Yeah, right there's good.
Yeah, man. So, you know, we got a lot to get into, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When like this episode is done, you're gonna realize that England hates black people, man, Hispanics and the Native Indians. That, you know what I mean? With the UK, it's not for us. And if you don't believe it, by the end of this episode, you are going to, man, without a shadow of a doubt, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So, but we're going into the first one. It's a video. For those of you that don't know, what's the names? Creptan.
We're going into the first one. It's
they have like a show where, you know, the next youngest rap star, they're gonna give him a echo deal. And now on this same show, they have a guy who's from Scotland, and he said the most disrespectful thing. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you what I'll do first. I'll let the video talk for itself, and then we'll get into it. So I'm gonna screen share in a moment. And you know, if you don't find this is a disrespect, then I don't know what you will, man. You know what I mean? This video speaks 1,000 words. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into that. Bear with me. Right, entire screen. All right, so this is the video right here. And this guy is so disrespectful, but again, we'll let them. All right. All right, let's start right there. So I'm gonna bring it from the start. So as I said before, this is like a reality show where, you know, like the youngest rap stars, they compete, and who wins, they get a recording deal, man. Now, you know, on this show, there's a white guy and a presser who's from Scotland, and let's see what he let's see what he had to say, man.
Scotland produce some of the best blokes in the world, yet we get fucking shunned by the rap community. So I'm hungrier than fucking one of yous, mate. The whole country needs me, mate.
Pressure, I might have to do something with the audio. You might have to stretch the mic.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, start it over because that the white boy there, his accent's super thick. So, you know, it being that low, it's hard to hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't hearing nothing you say now. Nah, the something you hit is, I think you mute yourself by mistake. I ain't hearing nothing. I don't think it's me. I came online. Let us know if you're hearing anything. One, just put a one. Let me know if you're hearing me or hearing Captain Parasha and Dumgoba over there in the UK. I ain't hearing your song no more. Something you hit on the side of you. You touch something on the side of yeah. Your mic is muted on the StreamYard.
Also,
All right. Yeah, we straight there now.
kind of work.
State for the postcode or fucking whatever. Hey, G, chill, chill, chill. Chill, your talk. Man, well done. You go first. Wait a second. Man, well done. I'm not happy with bronze, man. I'm not happy with bronze. I don't know if I fucking take on. Scotland's produced some of the best poets in the world, but yet we get fucking shunned by the rap community. So I'm hungrier than fucking any one of yous, mate. The whole country needs me, mate. Fuck's sake, never mind fucking in a state with a postcode or fucking whatever, mate. Hey, G, chill, chill, your talk, lad. What makes your fucking country more important than the blood? There's people that treat that state like it's their world, bro. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm a respectful thing, bro. I'm hungry, and I've got my whole country to actually put the point, mate. That is bigger than a... So say that, but don't say it's bigger than an estate, because it's in a fucking estate. I'm from an estate. I'm from an estate. I'm from Scotland. I'm from a fucking estate. What are you talking about? I don't know. Hot inflation. Running over heated, isn't it? I'm not going to fight the guy I like you, bro. You better look at it, bro. I'm free boxing the other Scotland, the country.
Who is the producer of the show?
Yo, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than whatever you got going on. It's bigger than some estate, bigger than some.
Yeah. Who is the producer of the show?
The producer is a UK rap group. They're called Kreptan Onan. So like, as well as they rap, they also invented this as well, sir. So they invented it so that, you know, like, it will give the next youngest UK rap star, you know what I mean, a chance. So what they did, you know, to not make it seem such of a black thing, you know, like, you know what I mean, they want to make it seem like it's for everybody.
Right.
They also brought in this white Scottish guy as well, sir. And I know that his accent, it was very thick, but what he was saying was, he thinks that, you know, him being white and on the show, that it's unfair, sir. So he's like, you know, he doesn't think that he's getting handled in the exact same way. And like, what's so racist about that is that, you mean, look at a black life. It's always unfair for us. And you being on a show, and they seem to like the black guys more, you're upset. But look at black life, and you're moaning about a show.
Right.
You're talking nonsense about a show, you know, because I'm from Glasgow, and I don't think I'm being done fair. Be quiet, man.
He from Scotland or Ireland?
No, he's from Scotland.
Good night. Good night. Okay, this is the thing. Nobody asked him to rap.
That's right.
Ain't nobody reach out to him and say, hey, you know, come come join the show. We need a token white boy. Or maybe they did. But okay, this is the thing to remember with them shows too. Them shows be scripted, right? It looked like another like Love and Basketball, Hip Hop Wives, you know what I mean? You know, Real Housewives of this. It looked like something like that, you know, because it mirrors society because, you know, in real life, black people will hold back a brother from whooping a white boy ass.
That's right.
We will really do that. We will really protect our oppressor, right? And in real life, he would always be the underdog. Like, you know, that whole Eminem thing. You know, like he come in there from, you know, I got my side, you only got an estate. You know what I mean? I don't know. So like, do my favor, turn down your the speaker a little bit. It coming back a little reverb or something coming back to me.
I got it.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, he's coming in there. And he said something, I don't know if everybody really caught it. You know what I mean? I know, don't go by. I know you want to jump in on this one.
Come say.
Go ahead, Ann.
Basically, what I got from it is he's saying, there's great poets that come out of Scotland, and he's basically saying, why are people looking up to you lot when you lot are from an estate? But what he needs to realize is that the people, no matter where we are, we're the children of God. So we're great whether we're from the estate, whether we're from Jamaica, whether we're in Jamaica, whether we're in any little broken down town, we're always going to be greater than him and his country of so-called great poets because we're the children of God, which lets you know in this terrible condition that we're in, we're still better than a man that's got a whole country behind him. And
right, exactly.
Behind him because he's a white man and really they're not behind him. He's just mad that all the rappers he sees is black men from the estates, black men who came from nothing.
I can hold the point right there. Let's everybody. I want everybody who online, y'all stay online, stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick 3-minute break. All right, Parasha, don't kill the stream. Just mute everything, and you could put back. Let's put back on the mist. We're gonna run it one more time. I want to get the audio right because y'all not coming through as clear. All right, let's just put the mist back on. Let's just a quick 2-minute break. Don't go nowhere, Akim. You'll stay right there, Akim and Aqua, brothers and sisters, everybody who online, everybody who online, Danica, Theo, Rachel, Ahawaba, Sonia, Tazanawai, Kerrian, everybody who online, you'll stay on. Anthony Lewis, Black Authentic Wisdom, G-Wiz, everybody, y'all just stay online. We're just gonna tighten up the audio. Just give us 2 minutes. We're gonna take a quick short break. Go ahead, Parasha. Just go ahead and put back on the mist.
It's in the air now. Got the tracking. 2017 bricks. Still got the packing. Birmingham, Sicily, I burn with passion.
What was the thing on sound through the first one?
can't walk around the hood.
How do we usually have the best?
I was down and out.
How do we usually have the best?
Oh, I don't know. So much trip down, mate. Yeah, I could drown. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just for the zoo, for the roof hole.
Shalom to you. How about Jimmy? How shy? Romantic comments. No, I'll hand it to. I've got it on this. Oh, the microphone.
Music plays well, so I chat less. Find a little deal, so it's less stress. What's next? Independent is my next step. Going album soon, land, where's my next check? Make money like I'm pet friend. Fuck them guys and them dead friends. Took a trip from the stress to the sunset. The aura of a G on the upset. From my suit and my loafers. Man got a nigga getting shoulders. Plays that fitting older. Where's the lads at? What's the motive? Can you control the emotion? Got this in BGQ them motion. Still my intercept, that's the motion. Can't go out without really getting noticed. Listen to Patron. My black dancer, black Max Brandon. Show me what's wrong. Tell me what the plan is. Cause if we're going out, my niggas bring in the matic, it's slips and Patron. I'm black dancer, black Max Brandon. Show me what's black. Tell me what the plan is. And if we're going out, my niggas bring in the matic. I remember playing Kirby with my lighter. Now I'm a poet, so I'm a writer. Spark that lights. My nigga B on the swami on deck. I'm this night, drove in the set. That's 2 days, sport to my neck. I'm like, hold on a second. My time's on that stolen pen. At least at night, I'll be crafting. Holy quick bricks. That's it, man.
All right, we're back on the end. Sorted out the technical difficulty that we had. So, we're back now on the end. If the audio is good, just type in a 1, a con, a yes. Anything that lets us know that the audio is all right. All right, so going back to where it was, what that white Scottish man said, it was heavily racist, man. Basically what he's saying is, he is better than us, and that basically what happens to us on the estate is irrelevant. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying that, damn you, listen, I matter, man. And that is very disrespectful. And now the reason why is a lot of that UK rap that he likes, it comes from those same estates that he hates, man. Right. A lot of that grime comes from those same estates that he hates, man. Right. And then has the nerve to go, well, I'm representing a whole country. Forget your estate. When what makes him rap or MC comes from that same estate, man. Right. How dare we, man? And that lets us know that our oppressor don't like us. And why am I saying this? Because lots of people, they like to think that, well, listen, if our oppressor likes the songs that we like, then it makes us one. No, it doesn't, man. Do you want to know what is in his mind? I do it, and me being of another race, I'm better than you, man. Right. Yeah, you lot do it, but where I'm from, we got the best writers, man. Where I'm from, we got the best, and that's all what it comes down to, man. He thinks he's better than us, You know what I mean? And it's nothing deep, it's nothing technical, it's nothing amazing. The truth is, that oppressor just thinks he is better than us. That's all it is, man. That's all.
And he's listening to a state, not realizing the people who put him on the show is from an estate, man. Captain Coleman is where from? What fort? Is it Fort Heath?
Fort Heath, man, yeah.
Which is an estate. That's where they're from. So he's saying, "Oh, you've just got an estate behind you," which is clearly a lie, man. Why? Because everybody loves our music, which proves they've got more than just an estate behind them. The reason why you know they've got more than an estate behind them is why? Because they get booked for shows in his country, which is Scotland, man.
That's right.
They get booked for shows in Scotland, in Wales. I ain't seen this them get booked for a show in an estate yet, man. I ain't seen them get booked in some little estate just yet. But I see these people from a little estate get booked in Scotland, Glasgow. That's where they always are, performing in his country, and he hates it because he feels like, you know what, that should be me. He sees a black man rapping and the crowd going crazy and the crowd doing mosh pits and doing whatever the artist says, and he looks at it like, that should be me, man. He looks at it like, the rhyme book that I've got, how come nobody's going crazy for me? The reason nobody's going crazy for you is because your rhyme book's not as good as you think it is, man.
And also too, no one doesn't want to hear that thick Scottish accent, man. You know, Glasgow, and you know what I mean? What to say? I'm rapping for a whole country, not an estate. You know, listen, no one don't want to hear that, man. You know what I mean? No one don't want to hear 16 bars with that Glasgow accent, man. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, guess what? Everyone wants to hear the Birmingham accent, the London accent. What's some other ones? Down there, even, you know what I mean? Yeah? You know what I mean? People want to even hear A-Star, man. They want to hear that Scouse accent, man. You know what I mean? Even he gets booked with a thick Scouse accent, man. And you would go, now, you know what I mean? No one don't want to hear that, man. And it hurts you. Do you want to know why it hurts him so much? It hurts him so much because he thinks he's better than you. And it hurts him that everyone likes those that are black, but you with your Glasgow, your accent, no one don't want to hear you, man. You're not as great as you think you are, even though in your mind, no, I'm white. In my country, good writers originate around there, and it hurts him that no one doesn't want to hear him. They want to hear the black man from the States, the same estate that he looks down upon. You know what I mean? No one wants to hear that Glasgow 16 bars, man. You know what I mean? I don't care where we are. Us as blacks and Hispanics, any accent we got, we make it look good, man.
Right.
Accent. You know what I mean? Us as black people now, we make it sound good, man. The London accent, you know what I mean? Amongst black people, we make the London accent while it is, man. A-Star with a Scouse accent. Let me tell you something. You know what I mean? For those of you online that don't know, with the Scouse accent, it is dreadful, man. I'm telling you straight. You know what I mean? I like chicken. I kind of cook. You know what I mean? And like always. And guess what? A black man made the accent sound good, man. Whenever he raps, he makes that Scouse accent like, you know what? He's done that bad still. And guess what? You with your Scottish accent, it hurts you that you can't do it, man. You know what I mean? In your mind, you're on the show thinking, I'm better than them. Yeah, they write bars, but I write bars, man. And then now you realize that your bars ain't that great, man. And it hurt you, and it hurt him so bad that he's venting. He's venting like me. I got you know what I mean? I've got them behind me more than that estate. He's venting like a woman, man. He's venting like a woman. You know when things don't go the way that they want, and you know it's your fault. You know what I mean? It's you. You did this. You know what I mean? And that's him, man. Venting like a woman, man.
And also another thing with white rappers, what they don't understand is most of them, they've gone to school, union, graduated, and they understand how black man from the streets, never been to school, never graduated, knows how to put words together like that, man, and they can't understand it. Most of them actually go to college and do music. Black men don't go to college and do music. We go outside and we see how we're living, man, and we take a pen and pad and we put it together, and then white people love listening to it, like, wow, is that really their life?
Right.
Like, it's got nothing to rap about. Like, really, what does any other nation have to rap about? They've got nothing to rap about, man. And this is why Eminem has to rap about having sex with his mum, boy, because he's got nothing to rap about, man.
That's right.
Whereas we've got a lot to rap about, man. We can rap about single parent homes, We can rap about not knowing what father is. We can rap about going to jail, being oppressed. What white people can rap about is what going to college and graduating. Nobody wants to hear that, man.
Right.
People hear about our life, and the same thing happened with William Shakespeare, man. They couldn't understand how this man never went to college or university, but he could write poetry so great, man.
Right. Okay, listen, there's something else there too, where that I don't know how much people really picked up on it, but he is when he say he have Scotland behind him, right? What does he say? Who is he talking about?
If a may, he's talking about white people, sir. Meaning he's got a whole race behind him.
That's it. That's what he's really talking about. He's saying that my white race that I'm representing is bigger than your estate where you allow other nations in.
That's right.
Like this, what he said, they have nothing to do with rap. This is age-old Jacob versus Esau. Like he made a purely, it's Mayweather and Conor McGregor. You see how McGregor was walking around calling him boy, tapping him in the head, stopping his hands to make his rod look like it's bigger than a black man, or that type of shit. Like that's what he thought he was doing. You get the point. He was over accentuating what he was bringing because of who he represents. He doesn't represent an estate. He represents a bloodline. And that's where those brothers, of course, because they're not in the truth, they don't see that. They see rap as universal. Like Stormzy could do it. What's the other one? Skepta, he could do it. You get the point. Big Shaq could do it. You know what I mean? Like we don't see that this is a black thing.
That's right.
We don't see that. We don't see it. Just like you remember the little sodomite boy who sang Old Town Road. I forget his name.
Oh, what's his name again?
Nas X. Y'all remember? I don't know how much y'all was following it because it was a pretty big story over here that the country association or music association started to ban him because he was breaking so much records on the country chart. Because he classified Old Town Road as a country song, even though it had a hip hop beat. And they were saying that ain't country, that's hip hop. Don't bring your hip hop to country music. Because they look at country music as white music. And you coming in here and dominated when country music was originally black. They stole country music from black people. So this white boy here, really what he's trying to come and do now is say white people could rap. Because right now, is there any white rapper on the grime scene?
No, that's it.
And they're gonna make him happen. I guarantee you. That Conan, what's his name?
Correct and
I guarantee you, brother, they're gonna try to push him. You see how he's sitting down there? He don't even have no chains. He's not dressing hip hop. You ever see the movie Green Mile? That's how Eminem was. He wasn't, he ain't got no hip hop gear. He don't have no hip hop swag. He's just a white boy who's lyrical, and y'all gonna respect. That's this thing here, but we don't see it as hip hop is ours and not yours, and you ain't coming in here. We see it as let everybody come in and appreciate it. When he coming in there to take it away.
That's right.
You know what I mean? He coming in there strictly on a race tip. And that's why and what he said was disrespectful. I'm not backing up what he's saying. I'm just shedding light on he's coming from a racist standpoint. We coming from, everybody could play, come play.
That's right.
If the estate is our whole life, then the Turks and the Romanians and the Russians and everybody else, they should not matter to us because they're not the ones who the estates was built for.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They're not the ones who suffer the most. I guarantee you, if you dig into that Greenfield Towers situation, the people who ain't get no kind of reimbursement is black people. All them Somalians, everybody else, I'm sure they get some sort of housing or benefits. But our people who was in there, nothing.
And And like it's rude, like what he doesn't get is that, you know what I mean? A lot of the people that rap or like they do what like they like, they're inspired by the estate. The music that he likes, it came from a man most likely who was in an estate. And then now for you to go, well, you know what I mean, you're just gonna represent an estate. That's rude, man.
Right.
It's like saying, you know what I mean? I know you got to rap about this, but me, I'm better. I've got a lot, much more. But you know, what is better than rapping about your life?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what gets better than that? So now, you know, like, that was so rude and he doesn't even realize it. I bet you, if someone would say to him, what you said, it was a racist thing, he'd be like, no, when yes, it is, man.
Listen, I think he knows what he's doing. He might not admit it because of course he trying to get in there, get a foot in there to bring, you know, Scotland in. But I think he knows what he's doing. Like in the UK, black culture is society's culture.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Black culture is, you know, the society's culture. So imagine there's another one. Oh boy, what's the crazy? It's some crazy Russian dude or Ukrainian. He's a rapper too. He tattooed his eyes like how Alkaline did it. He was. They say he was clinically dead a few times. He purposely put a scar running across his face. Purposely did it, and not just a scar like they slice his face. They actually like digged out so the scar is deep like a ravine, and he ate part of the face. Oh boy, he does rap. He tries to do rap, and he was inspired by Tupac and Biggie. I'm gonna find him for you. I'm gonna find this dude for you, and I'm gonna show you exactly what it is. You know what it is, the effect, the influence we have on the whole world. You know what I mean?
Concept. If a Mason, he shouldn't be rapping at all. He should be locked up, man.
Locked up.
He needs to be locked up again.
That's right.
And again, when it comes out again, that is insane.
He from Poland. His name is Popek. Look up. In fact, I'm gonna have him right here. Hold on. His name is Popek. Hold on. His name is Popek. This nigga look like. Oh my god.
Selassie, we have Kwanzaa in the house as well.
Most High in Christ, what's going on out here?
Shalom Yabashim Yashai Brakatah.
How you feeling now?
Everything's good, you know, Captain.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, hold on, man. Popek.
Even the name, it sounds so
like some kind of, you know, like Chucky. Like his name is Chucky. Like he's some demon child.
Popek.
Hold on, man. Let me get the screenshot. I'm gonna beg you the screenshot for a second, man.
Kind of one concept. Selassie. Anything he gets it.
Yeah, I have it now. Okay. This is him here. Let's see. This is him here, right? He looked like just an ordinary white boy who probably, you know, do MMA or something, right?
Yeah, that's right.
This dude here is a full-out kleptomaniac. All right, that's him, right? The gold teeth. You see he tattooed his eyes like Alkaline. Right? So for anybody who say, you know, Alkaline stupid, Alkaline had contacts in. This fool tattooed his eyes, and he lost vision in some of them. All right, because Vice did a documentary on him called, you know, Vice has a series called Noisy, where they rappers. They did a whole special on him, and this nigga is, you know, he's a white boy who was, I think, raped or molested young, abused, lived on the streets, and then he gravitated to what he thought gangster rap was, but it's really rock and roll rap. You get me?
Kind of one.
You see the scars on his face? He has like an X on one side. Let me see if I get a better picture of the scars. Okay, yeah, this one ain't, the quality on this one ain't so great. Hold on. The scars on his face, you would think it was an accident or something. That's not what happened. He went on the knife to do this. This is it right here.
Is it worth it?
You understand? He went under the knife to do that. This is them drawing. This is them drawing the picture right here. He said he did it with no painkillers because he was high. And he dug it out. Excuse the graphic for the audience. But he dug it out of his face. And this is him. You understand? This is him, and this is some of his music. Hold on 1 second. This is some of his, this is some of his music here. And he's from Poland.
Selassie, if I can add.
Yeah,
you know really about that? Where like he is put around, they are racist, man. They hate black people with a hatred. And it shows how influential we can be. Where we being in a country where like black people are hated, he's trying to be like us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's funny, it's like this now, you know what I mean? Even though we have lost our identity, in many ways, we don't want to be like them. So you know what I mean? It shows that really who has the way.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Listen, even if you lose your wallet, you still know who the hell you are.
That's right.
You understand? And that's how we are as a people. Like, we might not know our name, but I know whoever I am, I only have sex with a certain type of woman. I'm a man, so I only do certain type of things that men do. We not like them, void of a culture, void of spirit, void of, anything, where they have to go and be culture vultures and steal.
That's right.
We are absolutely not like them. Let me give you some of his stuff. This is the same puppet.
We OGs, fuck it, we got some shoes on deck. Don't know me, fuck it, we might shoot niggas on set. We OGs, fuck it, we got some shoes on deck. Don't know me, fuck it, my nigga don't come right here. Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto. Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my.
Now tell me, are they trying to get that grime song?
Kind of a concept that sounds like grime.
Trying hard. It ain't all the way like grime, but you could tell they're trying to get that, old school grime. Hold on, and let me see if I could switch to the I want to switch the screen so I could show you his Now this was from 2014. This is him parring with some dude named Goldie One. I don't know if he's a brother or if he's a Hamite. But he seemed to be the only dark-skinned man on the set, or one of two or three. The rest of them white. But he said we might shoot some niggas on set, and don't come to my ghetto. But the rest of these are Eastern Bloc, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, quote unquote gangsters. Right? You see one holding the chainsaw in the front, and they're trying hard to replicate our style. Go ahead.
It was even in the sign. It was Gowansa, the production.
Oh, I did not see that. Let me pull that back. I did not see that back. Oh Lord. Oh, Lord. Listen, you so right that. Listen. And if you ain't familiar, you would think it's Wagwan, like Wagwan. But you see, the G is still connected to the W.
That's right.
It's Wagwan, like Wagwan Regin. Boy, listen, the scriptures say the thief cometh forth but to steal.
That's right.
Like, and we don't get it. So this little Scottish boy who, having a fit, how you all say it in the UK, he moaning?
Moaning.
Me over there moaning like a pregnant pig. Moaning. He coming to steal. And Krept and Conan either they don't know he coming to steal, or they're willing to take part in the loot he coming to steal. Like Dr. Dre with Eminem, like Run DMC with Beastie Boys. You get the point? Like, they're coming in there to try to steal some of our culture or all of it.
We OGs, fuck it, we got some shoes on them. Don't know me, fuck it, we might shoot niggas on set. We OGs, fuck it, we got some shoes on them. Don't know me, fuck it, man, nigga don't come right here. Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto. Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto. Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto. Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto. Up next, my G, nigga know what she want. Most nigga wanna know where the fuck I come from. Raised in the ghetto, raised in the sun. Lost one of my real niggas, fucking out with them guns. It's crazy how this life made me. Sipping,
Now listen now. This supposed to be his song, but the I ain't sure if it's a brother, but he had the other guy taking the lead because he want that guy audience, he want that guy vibe to set the tone. It's the same thing. I'm gonna play another song in a second, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, like these devils, that's how they do, and that's how you really know how they are. They really ride off of our back. Like, you would think it's his song featuring Puppet, and it's not. It's Puppet's song, and that's him in the background, and that freeze frame right there, he's over the right shoulder.
And you know I got them good standing around me. Blow your head up if you fuck around me. It's G1 and Puppet, and you know we OP. You know we OP. UK, stand up, two shakes, hands up. Talk about it, get banged up. Talk about it, get banged up. Talk about it, get banged up.
It's 1 minute 20 seconds in, and Puppet can say a word.
That's right.
Have to look for his part now.
Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto.
1 minute 48 seconds, Puppet can say a word. I ain't never heard this song before. I just picked the first rap song I see with it.
Don't come to my ghetto, don't come to my ghetto. Jest kończyłam, zapraszamy was do getta. Kurwa skakuje na stół, tak czy jakby była wciekła. Omieszamy doszła, o mnie dziś nie dostał ejca. Ma to ląda jak skurwysyn, gwiazda się rozkręca. Zapowiadam tutaj dzisiaj psy, wiadomo co drodze, tylko kogoś pokręcą. Nie wiem kto to będzie, ja się ty. Czysta loteria, więc nie masz kolejności. Chodź do mnie dupa.
Listen, that's sounding like them raves. Them glow sticks. They break the glow sticks and they kind of, Listen, now listen, look at this here without the volume. That ain't rap.
That's rock and roll.
That's rock and roll. That's acid rock. That ain't hip hop. You understand what I'm saying?
Concept.
So now they're looking at that Scottish boy. Now, if you go back and see I'm looking for certain pieces of it in the research that the documentary that Vice did. Anybody could go back and watch it. He tell you his whole beginning. In the beginning, he did not look like this. I think they show you parts of him in the beginning when he was a young boy before he really get into it. He looked nothing like this. He created the whole persona with the eyes. He created the whole thing with the scar to make himself look dangerous. He did not look anything like this in the beginning. And just how that Scottish boy looked, just like Eminem. That Scottish boy coming in there looking like if, he harmless and he could be trusted and you could like him. And now, all the empathy is going to come towards him. Everybody going to be empathizing with him. Give the white boy a chance. All he want to do is rap, especially black women. Good night. You sisters, you're gonna see him there, and I have a country behind me, a whole country. You're gonna see him and feel sorry for this little devil until he come in there and take every goddamn thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's like he's making it seem like everything's hard on him. But look at Black Life, man. Everything's hard on us every day. You're on one show, and when it gets rough, you're there having a moan, you're whinging. Meanwhile, a lot of the guys on the show, you ask them how like their life has been, and it's been worse than yours. Just because you're not getting your way on the show, you want to moan, man. When meanwhile, Black life is suffering every day, man.
Mm-hmm.
We get done wrong every day, and you on one show can't take it because someone raps better than you, and you want to moan, man.
That's right.
And it ain't even the person rapping better than him. That ain't it. Okay, once again, it's because of our innocence and everything. Like, we looking at it like he's really complaining because he's not getting attention. That's not it. That had nothing to do with it. This is his strategy to get in the door.
Right.
This is him being. Give me Ecclesiasticus 12:10. You got to understand our oppressor. The devil, Esau is a what?
A cunning hunter. Sir.
A cunning hunter. He cunning. So what he doing? You might think, oh damn, he really hurt. No, he not. But he will. That's why he's a snake. He could go on his belly. Like, the average black man have a certain amount of pride.
That's right.
I ain't doing that. I don't care if I sleep on a bench. I ain't doing that. A white man, he sit down, grab his head, he kiss his kids, fuck it, and then he go do it. he go do it. That's what every one of them hit TV series on the TV now is made from with some white boy. The Breaking Bad, what do you call it? With the professor selling meth. I watched one the other day named Ozark. He's a regular white boy accountant, and he's doing, brother, some insane shit. But that's how he is. This white boy, you think he didn't know he was coming on something that the whole world gonna see? Watch how everybody else dressed, living on the estate. He coming from a whole country in stretched out gray sweats, looking like a bum. That's his plan. His plan is, I'm going to come in there with no flash and keep it simple, no chains, no entourage. He don't even have nobody with him. That's his plan. It's not by, it's not by chance. It's not his real argument. You got the scripture?
No. The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
That's him. You cannot trust him. Skip me down to where it's saying though he come down low.
Though he humble himself.
Though he what?
Though he humble himself.
Though he what?
Though he humble himself.
Just like this white boy, he humbling himself. He say, yo, it's nothing against the estate, but you don't understand. I have a whole country. Humble himself. You comparing a country to an estate. Your country has a goddamn government, nigga.
Right.
You got income coming in. You got slave revenue coming in still. What the estate got? Every how much years or every year or every how much months you have to fill out a whole new form for benefits to show your income. Does he have to fill out a form for the Scottish government to show he's still Scottish? No. But though he what?
Though he humble himself. And go crouching.
And go what?
Crouching.
And go crouching. Pressure, pull up. I don't know if you could get a bigger picture, but you really had to see the spirit of these devils. He on the edge of the couch, sitting there by himself, like, oh, poor me, poor me. Oh, Lordy Jesus, Poopa Jesus, oh, Lord, woe is me. Like, if he's so, in pain and he's so by himself, and that's the whole image they're going to push. He has a country, but he traveled by himself to represent his country. He's a fucking hero, right? He a goddamn hero. Keep going.
Yeah, take good heed and beware of him.
That's what Crep and Conan should do.
That's right.
They should take good heed and beware of this. What's his name?
In Slacks, it doesn't have his name, sir.
See, brother, all that is by purpose. We don't know his name yet, but guess what they're gonna call him? The white boy from Scotland, or Scottish white boy. It's all strategy to see what social media is going to name him as, like whatever name catches on, and they're gonna play off of that to make him big. You get the point? Now, if he doesn't get big, then I had to salute them two brothers for keeping him out. But I think this is his launching pad. I think this is for sure him. Go ahead.
Thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Exactly. That's how you gonna know that's him. Play it again, Prasha, if you don't mind.
Concert, come on, man.
Well done. I'm not happy with bronze, mate. I'm not happy with bronze. I don't think I fucking seek to conquer it, mate. Scotland's produced some of the best poets in the world, but yet we get fucking shunned by the rap community. So I'm hungrier than fucking any one of yous, mate. The whole country needs me, mate. Fuck's sake, never mind fucking in a state or a postcode or fucking whatever, mate. Hey, G, chill, bro, chill. Chill, bro, talk like that. What else, man? What makes your fucking country more important than the block? There's people that treat that state like it's their world, bro. Listen, I'm telling you on a respectful thing, bro. I'm hungry and I've got my whole country to actually prove my point, mate. That is bigger than us. Don't say that, but don't say it's bigger than in the state, because you're in the fucking state. I'm from in the state. I'm from Scotland. I'm from fucking G. Are you trouble? I live about dirty. A little bit hot in the kitchen, but a little bit heated, isn't it? Carry on the state. I actually have a point. I'm not going to fight the guy I like you, but you got a little bit because Scotland, the country, like, comparing it to like the block, like, yo, it's bigger than that, it's bigger than whatever news I've got going on, like, it's bigger than some estate, bigger than some.
Yeah, and but to add on to that, you know what's rude about that too? He's talking about his he is hungrier than them. You ain't hungry, man. You're from a country that's rich. Those men there on the estate, they're hungry.
That's right.
You ain't hungry. That is nonsense, man. You mean you must have heard that from some rap song and it sounded nice. I'm hungry. You don't know what hungry is, man. You ain't hungry.
Exactly. Listen, that's it. You don't know what hungry is. It's when you play the video, you see him on the end there with his hands in his pocket, looking like, oh, little poor me one. Like put him in a uniform and he'll crack your skull.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Put him in charge of black people, he'll take your housing from you. That's the kind of devil he is. Don't be fooled by these idiots. Though he come crouching and he come low and he humble himself. If trouble befall you, he will be right there. That's right. It's further down in that same chapter. If trouble befalls you, he will be right there. Meaning what? He's the root of your trouble. Problems start when you started messing with him.
That's right.
Yes, and Krept and Conan shouldn't, like, as hard as it is for black UK rappers to make it to the top level, as hard as it is, look at what has happened with Wiley. You fucking around with this white boy? Let them Jewish managers go there find the Scottish white boy themselves, man. What are you launching his career for? Want to the next Wiley, the next Mist, the next KB. Who launching their careers? You trying to push this white boy for what? For money? Nigga, your nation is more than money.
Right.
That's one thing they understand that we do not as a people.
That's right.
You understand? These brothers, he talk about the estate and he right. The estate is it means the world to some brothers. It means the world that when you're coming up and you're at that age and you're at that stage of life, That's all that matters to you. Postcode, where you from, you know, what street, west side or south side or wherever. That's what matters, because you know why that matters? Because we don't have a country.
That's right.
We don't have a nation. We don't have it, so we make our own. That's hungry.
That's right.
Hungry. If that Scottish boy was hungry, he wouldn't have had to come to UK. He'd have created that shit over there.
That's right.
You understand? Listen, Krept and Conan, they ain't come to Death Row Records or Bad Boy Records in New York. They created their own shit over there. You get the point? Wiley, he ain't come over and do the, you get it? You understand what I'm saying? They create their own thing. And that's what hunger is. When you hungry, you will take what? What you always call callaloo bush? You always call it callaloo bush? You know callaloo? The food callaloo? You know, you ever seen the bush it comes from, the actual plant?
I haven't seen it, sir.
God damn, Prash. I expose it there. Salah. Let me rewind that. They cut that from the tape. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, also over here, we just get it in the tin. Like,
All right, don't jump in. Don't ask the question. I ain't too far from you all. I ain't too far from you all at all. You get the point? But okay, that callaloo is a bush that grows. It's not, you know, it ain't a carrot, right? It's like dasheen, but it's dasheen. The root is like it's something we eat, like it's ground provision, like dasheen, yam, cassava. It's the root of it is something, and the top of it is just wild. Hunger will make us take that and make a meal out of it. Like, white people didn't teach us how to make callaloo. Look at what callaloo looks like. You think that's a delicacy to them? We make it a delicacy. You understand what I'm saying?
Kind of one, like,
even the unclean food, the chitlins and this and that. That's wasted food that the devil don't want. Even the clean food, oxtail,
chicken foot, sir.
Chicken foot. You know what I mean? The hoof for them animals, the tongue, cow tongue. You know what I mean? Manish water with the goat head in it. Think about how hungry you had to be to cook the head. Like nothing wasting. You get the point?
Kind of one, kind.
Like that's who we are as a people. You so right. He knows nothing about hunger. Nothing. If anything, anybody who watching how to learn from this damn show is don't make no deals with these devils. Make no covenants with them. You know, leave them out. Let them stay separate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let them stay separate. Let them stay absolutely separate. You get the point? Let them stay so separate. And we have to, anytime we come up against them, we have to know we representing our race.
That's right.
You understand? It's like how Deontay Wilder, when he went up against Fury. Fury, he was pushing that white agenda. There's a video with him and his entourage and somebody in the background saying, "Hail white Jesus, white power," in the back of him. Like Fury came in there to defend white hope in boxing.
That's right.
And Deontay Wilder came in there forgetting all that, you know, till this day talk. Till this day, all that talk went out the window. It was till this day when you're fighting Bermin Steven. Till every other brother you beat to piss. This white boy get a pass. This 45-old crackhead.
That's right.
He get a pass. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better, and we gotta protect our own because our own is extremely valuable. The problem is we don't see it. We only see how valuable it is when they pick it up and take it to the top of the chart. You understand? We only see how valuable it is at that point. You know what I mean? Let's move on from this nasty Scottish white boy. Let him go and put on a kilt and learn to play bagpipes, man. Leave rap alone. Let him go and dance the Irish jig when Celtic playing in the Champions League. That if you want a job. You know what I mean? You want a whole nation on your back.
Kind of one concept. So I have an article next. drop it on the screen share, sir.
Ain't no sweat.
Yeah, with this one, it's sad, man. You know what I mean? Like, even when I read this article, I was hurt. Like, that could be anybody. And like, it's sad what they it's sad what happens on
So, like, before we move on, let me just make sure I mention here, who it is? Danica Brown say, and we wonder why there's people like White Chocolate claiming he's paving the way for black people. That's another example. The boy Karate covered last week, right? Claiming he paving the way for white people, for black people, and he had to take it back because really that's what he's doing. He's stealing the shit from us, stealing it from us. You know what I mean? Taz, now I say Hitch. Hitch is another example. I don't know who he is, but I guarantee you, it's some nerdy looking white boy who trying to be from the ends. You know what I mean? You all know who Hitch is?
It's like Concert. I believe it's H. His name is written H, but it's like
H or whatever. Devil. That's what his name is. Devil.
That's right.
Devil. You got Mad Banyamian saying like eating pig ears. Exactly. You know what I mean? G will say he's a mess, mocking the culture. That's what it is. Like they don't, we gotta value what we have a lot more. We don't value it enough as a people. This nigga looking like, something from a horror movie. Puppet. You know what I mean? And listen, if they give that white boy a starter, I guarantee you, he gonna be wearing kilts on stage. He gonna be bringing in the bagpipes. He gonna have niggas, wearing green and the whole Scottish culture. You know what I mean? He gonna be doing all of that mess and taking over. Let's continue though.
Concert. So this is an article from the Guardian, sir, and it was heartbreaking what happened to these two young men, man. They were just on the streets, and they gave each other a fist bump, and the police was harassing them.
I think I read this sometime recently. I think these two is carnal, physical brothers.
They also kind of the one can.
That is absolutely crazy. Where Quarters are, let him read it if you don't mind.
Concert.
If he's doing something then for you, then he could go ahead. He could pick up the article when you're done with it. You know what I mean?
Concert. It's too upset.
Okay, no sweat.
Brothers stopped and searched for fist bump. Will sue MET police.
So, Salaxa, if I may, they was stopped over a fist bump. So now, you know what I mean? It's what we do, man. Us as blacks and Hispanics, we bump our fist.
That's right.
It's what we do. And now the police saw that and they stopped these young men, man.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Shit. Listen, man. This is even the bigger issue. COVID protocols did away with handshakes, right?
Kind of one can't.
And what was they saying to do instead of the handshake?
They were saying to do a fist bump.
So how in the fuck is these brothers stopped because of doing fist bump? Right when England go more into the COVID restrictions.
Can't.
This shit is just so ridiculous. Not only is it black culture, y'all say this is how to be safe. That is so ridiculous. It's damn near like black skin is on trial all over the world. Like it's like we in court and charges being laid against us for nothing.
That's right.
That's it all over. It's just whatever you do, your hair too curly, your hair too straight, your nose too big, your nose not big enough. Something. Some dumb shit. Like imagine you meet a brother, you hit him a fist bump. Whoop whoop. Tridents come out. Niggas dropping from the sky because of a fist bump. But them Africans cutting the heart out of your soldiers in London and doing terrorist act, and y'all somehow never around when they doing this shit.
Right. That's right.
Somehow they have yet to hear, Scotland Yard stopped, a terrorist attack. It's always after.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Dijon and Liam Joseph from the South London say they were targeted because of the color of their skin.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Go ahead. Hold on. Parashia, this is what to do. Keep their picture up on the screen. You might have to send him the article on his phone or something so he could read from the phone. Yeah, pull it down so we had that picture up right there.
Concept.
You know what I mean? And you could send it from his phone. Just send the articles to his phone. He could pull it up and read from the phone. Because I think people need to see the faces of these brothers to humanize us. You know what I mean? Like this devil, he does a good job to dehumanize us. You know what I mean? Make it seem like we monsters and stuff. And something in this article, one brother, I think he's 6'8". He said he was complying with the cops. The cop official report was that he was being so aggressive. And the brother said he was so tired of, how am I aggressive when I'm complying? I ain't fighting you. I could whip everybody else. Nigga, 6'8". You think them little buppies could handle him?
Selassie as well. So I have a video of it as well, sir, after the article.
Oh man. Tawada. Let's get the video. Let's run straight into the video.
Understood.
Let's definitely run straight into the video. Quatters, I find the part where they said how often they were stopped since they was boys. Since they were little boys, they've been stopped like a ridiculous amount of times. You know what I mean? Because it's beyond ridiculous with them, man.
I'm being listening. Yeah, I'm listening. Standing outside the Caribbean shop getting food, and that's what you said to me, yeah? I'm cool. Don't touch me. I told you already. Don't touch me. I'm being listening for yourself. That is you. Why am I being cuffed? Why am I being cuffed? I'm not being aggressive. Why am I being cuffed? Why am I being cuffed? Because it's basically what being cuffed. I'm being aggressive. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being aggressive. What am I being aggressive? I'm being aggressive. Okay. You see the change between me and you. Okay. No, you're not sorry. You're definitely, you see, young black man outside of a shop speaking to his brother, and he looks like he's doing a job for it. That is crazy. That's correct. That's none of the business.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous.
That's just the news. That's the news version of it, right? That ain't their actual raw footage.
It is while one officer had in his hand, unlike the phone that he had, he recorded it. So
no, what I mean is, okay, that's not the whole incident. Like that's just what the news puts up.
That's right, sir.
You know what I mean? The whole incident, is going to be something else. You get what I'm saying? The whole incident, you're going to see more of how, because I'm sure there was a point in that search where them cops realized they just, they messed up and they just continued just because they started. Like that's how it is going with I.S.U.P. He kick in your door searching for something. Oh, snap, it's the wrong house? Well, fuck up the whole house anyway. We can't retract now because we'll look wrong.
That's right.
We can't say, oh man, my bad. Contact my supervisor. This is the wrong house. I'll take the blame. They'll tear up the whole house. One, hoping that they find something to justify the wrong they did. And two, just to continue with it. You know what I mean? Like they'll continue searching just in case, okay, these boys didn't really do nothing, but maybe they have weed on them. Maybe they might be drunk. Maybe they have something else. Maybe we'll find a knife. And then we could say, well, we saw them fist bump, but he looked suspicious. And lo and behold, we found the knife. See? Stop and frisk works. When that shit don't work, they just violated them two men. You know what I mean?
Right, Hamza, if I can add to what was said on that video is they found his bank card, and when he said like he doesn't want to say who the card belongs to, the officer said, "Well, I'm arresting you," meaning that she thinks that he robbed someone's bank card, and that's heavy because it means that it means that because they're wrong, you're gonna arrest the man for his own bank card.
They have to do it. They have to do it because now, if they don't, he'll complain, and it could backfire on that sergeant or whoever was out there. So they have to do it. That's why half the time when they stop you for bullshit, the search turned into a 5-minute stop and ID check to a whole hour and a half with cop cars pulling up and bright lights. Because when they go back to check your ID in the car, in the little scanner or wherever, you be sitting there wondering, well, why the fuck it taking so long? I could send an email in less time. Because they're planning how they're going to get out of this one. When they run your ID, 9 out of 10 times you don't have no record, no priors, or everything was when you was a juvenile, or it's nothing. There's nothing there. You meaning your shit straight. But they're sitting there like, oh God, man, stop me wrong. All right, what we'll do? Okay, listen, he got to have something. Check his socks. Go in there. Start harassing the other passengers. Start harassing the other people who walk in with him. He might be clean, but they're black. Remember, they're black. They smoke weed and get high and do this. And 2 hours you standing up there, and then as the time go on, while they're searching, they start talking to you a certain type of way to get the reaction from you, so now they could take you down for disorderly conduct as well. You understand? Like these people are monsters, they're monsters.
Go
ahead.
And it's like as well. Like on the video, you can see that he's basically 6'8", like he's really big. So if he wanted to run away, he could.
Right. None of them could take a punch from him, man. That's concussion and fall to the floor and bust open the back of your head. You know, he hit 1, 2, and they're done. They're not going to recover. You know what I mean?
Concept. We have the article set. If you like it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get something into it. Rachel Farquharson said on YouTube the video is on there for nearly 9 minutes, meaning whatever he filmed is 9 minutes long. So the Guardian, the news story one, they shortened it for us. But I'm sure if you watch that 9 minutes one, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. They knew that stuff was wrong, and they just fishing. You know what I mean? Remember, everybody inside now with this COVID, so crime is down, arrests is down. They need to make their quotas for their bonuses. You get the point? To come out there and lock somebody up. They had to push somebody through the system so the court clerk could get paid. You understand? So the stats could be up. You know what I mean? After the brother finished the article, there's a video on the UK page about this London's lieutenant, I think, a woman, talking about how stop and frisk is working because the numbers are down, and a brother is there giving it to her. He is giving her the business act. He's letting her know that is some bullshit.
That's right.
Go ahead. So like you say, if I could real quick, of all the crimes she stopped him for, it has to be the Misuse of Drugs Act. Like, she could have stopped him for anything, but she pinned that one on him. And I've realized what police like to do is, when they stop and searching black people, they're allowing all these other criminals, these other nations to slither through the cracks. I mean, this man can't even fist bump in the street, but an Arab can go into an Ariana Grande concert with bombs all over him. Right? I mean, where was the security, man?
Thank you.
If you're gonna stereotype us for having drugs on us, stereotype the Arabs for having bombs on them, man. And then it's fair. And then okay, it's fair.
It's fair. Stereotype the Pakis for bringing in heroin.
That's right.
And guns, you know, and all the guns. You know, stereotype Popek for bringing in all the drugs. Listen, anybody listen, I ain't plugging Vice stuff, but go watch that documentary with Popeka. Them Ukrainians and Polish people, brother, is all the mafia bosses over there. And it came out in the Popek documentary. It came out. You understand? Like, but they ain't stopping them. They ain't harassing them. They ain't flipping them over, emptying the pockets on the street. They ain't doing no street side interrogation for them. You know what I mean? You so right, Zach. Like, make the shit fair.
Yeah.
Right.
They said the brothers from a devout Christian family in South London told The Guardian that between them, they have been stopped and searched by police more than 25 times.
25 times. Say that again, from the age of what?
Starting when they were children.
That's crazy, Ark. 25 times since you was a child. You were stopped and frisked. And they ain't find nothing yet. Surely, when they're running the names must come up like he was searched, he was this, he was that. 25 times you were searched, Ark. You gotta draw the line somewhere.
That's right.
You have to draw the line somewhere. Go ahead.
They said black people were being treated as suspects by police until proven otherwise, damaging relations with communities, which they were still hopeful could be repaired. Their case was one of 5, which the police watchdog cited on Tuesday as they criticized the MEP for their use of stop and search and identified the phalanx of areas needing improvement.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And these is 2 literal brothers that imagine you can't even greet your brother in the street. Like, it's down there like they want us to be like them, cold and dry and just walk past each other.
That's right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, we are not that type of people. Like, we the type to see across the, hey, what go on, son? You know what I mean? Like, we hail somebody out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even in your car, sometimes you drive in your car, you slow down and you dip your head outside and you yelling the name from across the street. Forget if it's sisters. Sisters see each other and you swear somebody getting killed. They start screaming and yelling and stomping their feet. You know what I mean? Because they're happy to see each other. But now you hit your brother a fist bump and, you know, we had to get searched for that shit. That is crazy, yeah. That is absolutely crazy.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Any more on the article? So what happened? They sued them, right?
Sucks that they haven't yet, sir, but they are working on it, sir. They are working.
I think the Holy Spirit just entered the room, Mark. I hear you crisp and clear. Good job, Mark. Listen, I don't clap like old school Benjamites when the power went out and you know the power come back on. I don't know if you're old enough for them days, like, but I remember being young and when the power went out, the power come back on and the whole street said yelling, "Thank you, Jesus," and clapping and shit because the power is back on. Good night. The power just came into the room.
I don't know where from, but you know.
It's somewhere. Don't ask where it's from. Just say Most High in Christ.
Most High in Christ.
It came from the Lord. Yeah, go ahead. You was about to say something? Okay, so these brothers, they sue the police, right?
They haven't yet, sir. They're in the works of it, sir.
They're in the works of suing the cops, right?
No one can.
Okay, I think, didn't the article say that they sued the cops on one?
I believe they're in the works of it. It's them and they're not alone, sir. So like so now you mean anyone else who has been done wrong, they're also working on a case as well, sir. And they're all black, sir. It all ends up being black people that are getting harassed.
Okay, I understand. Okay, let me as we on that now, let me get the screen share there. Unless you have it. You already have the clip?
Yeah.
I have it lined up right here already.
Understood, sir. Kind of.
I think it's this. Oh, yeah.
Concert.
All right, so this is here some London lieutenant or something like that, right? She's from the Met Police. Met is who? London?
That's right, sir. Kind of one.
I guess what is Metropolitan?
That's it, sir. Concert.
Right. So she's from them, and she's, you know, she on there to brag and boast about how much is down. And look at how humble she looking. Like, you know, like she couldn't even hurt a fly. Like she bring you your tea and your coffee. You know what I mean? Like you could look at her and just, you know, you would not think that this broad would be the one who is telling them go out there and frisk everybody from Croydon, you know, all the way up to Tottenham.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like that's who's giving the orders. This wicked witch from the West. Look like she'd take her skin off at night and zip it back of her head. Look at all the eyes hanging around the eye thing. She just look the evil and unnatural. And I'm assuming this is a brother here. They on this show, whatever Channel 4 news show, and she is now trying to make it like the stats is showing that the stop and frisk is working. And the brother is giving her the business. And the thing about this is he's so calm with it. He ain't even yelling angry. And you could tell the shame is on her face. You could tell it. All right, let's check it out.
I accept any of what Victor Elisa has just said about what you're getting wrong when it comes to stop and search.
So we do over 250,000 stop and searches a year. And our complaints rate is very low. It's about 1%.
Hold on. Brother, she said we do 250,000 stop and frisk a year. Somebody in the room there, either Dumgo, but one of y'all, just look up. Y'all know the stop and frisk, it started in New York, right? Under Giuliani. Okay, that's where the whole strategy of stop and frisk became popular in the modern time. Right? I believe they get it from the Germans with the Jews, the Jewish man, so like it. But the modern day tactic of stop and frisk in police forces gained the popularity under Giuliani in New York, right? And I want somebody to look at the stats on the percentage of blacks and Hispanics that were stopped and frisked versus whites out of everybody. You could use the New York model, but the New York model is the model everybody uses. Any society that has, you know, a city with blacks and Hispanics that utilize stop and frisk, the statistics are similar to what happened in New York, which was it did not cause a reduction in crime. It caused a lot of strain between the community and a disproportionate amount of black people and Hispanic people were stopped when compared to white people. And the white people that were stopped, they found more illegal stuff on them than they did with most of the black and Hispanic people they found. Anybody find the stats there?
So lucky I got the UK stats.
Go ahead.
The UK stats is black people are 9 times more likely to get searched than white people.
9 times.
That's the UK stats, sir.
So 9 to 1. So in terms of 90%, what's 90% of 250,000?
Calculator.
It got to be about 210,000 now.
Come on, sir.
It got to be about 20% is what, 50,000. So 80% is what, 200,000 maybe. So 90 got to be 210, 220,000, something like that. 90%. Anybody calculate it again?
Kind of one concert. I have the calculation. 2,500.
I would say it sounds like we searched what 225,000 times.
I think you're right. I think it had to be somewhere around there.
Come on, circles.
Go ahead.
I think 10% of 250,000 is 25,000. So that means we searched
9 times that.
Concert. He's right, sir. Concert Officer Dungabar is right, sir.
I'm trying to tell you. You see, that's when he coming for the yellow headpiece. He's like, I'm sure that way, you know, he brings in the This bitch sitting down here boasting about searching and harassing and embarrassing 225,000.
So, like you said, your audio's a bit choppy, sir.
So, like, it might be the internet. It might be the internet. 'Cause everything over here is, all the way up, except the internet. How are we coming from now? 1 2 1 2.
A little bit, but it's a little bit. The words are a little bit choppy every so often.
Might be the internet. Hold on.
Is ours 12 on this one?
Yes, our internet is.
Yeah, ours is 12 on this one.
Nah, it might be mine. How is it now?
Still a little choppy.
Still a choppy, sir.
Okay. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2.
A little choppy, but a bit better, but still choppy, sir.
Okay, hold on. Let me jump out and I'll jump right back in.
Come on, sir.
Cut.
So the statistics says what? That means we stopped 225,000 more times to their 25,000, which means what? You've got a 225,000 chance of going to jail, man. 225,000 chance of being killed by the police. Whereas our oppressor does what? He walks around with all these weapons, man. What happens when they get drunk? They're walking around with machetes and cutlasses and baseball bats and everything, and nothing happens to them. With them, they're allowed to have their weapons out, and police do what? Please drop your weapon. Black men never get that option, man. We don't even get the option to drop our weapon. Right. Ours is just what? Shoot on sight.
That's right.
And it lets you know. It lets you know, man, that England is a.
No, go ahead, Dangwa.
It lets you know that, especially in England, it lets you know that England is a place where it's designed to keep black people down, man. Like, people look at it like, oh, all of yous are just in prison and you can't get it together. It's because we stopped 225,000 more times than everybody else.
That's right.
You stop our oppressor that much times, he will be in jail more than us, man. Right. But because he's only stopped 25,000 times, guess what? That leaves 225,000 of them to just walk free.
No, 25,000.
Come on, come to 25,000.
That's 25,000 of them that get to walk free. If it was the other way around, they'd be riots in the streets. People would lose their jobs if white people would stop that much.
Come to
you know what? 225,000 people is what? 20-something thousand people a month?
Come to.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Compared to that 25,000 for the year. That's what, 2,000 white people a month?
Probably less than that, sir.
Kind of around that.
And you're right, it could be less than that because we didn't factor in Somalians, they didn't factor in them Pakis. They said black people are stopped 9 times more than everybody else.
Come sir.
And that shit is crazy. I'm gonna get the screen share again.
Concert, kind of one cunt.
Okay, so she's sitting there boasting about this and talking about success. Let's get her again.
Do over 250,000 stop searches a year, and our complaints rate is for
Green's blank, sir.
All right, hold on. Let me rock it again. Give me the screen share now.
Concert.
It's Tawab now?
Concert, it's Tawab, sir.
Okay.
I don't accept any of what Victor Elisa has just said about what you're getting wrong when it comes to stop and search.
So we do 250,000 stop and searches a year, and our complaints rate is very.
Yeah.
I was talking to the green, it's for Rosen, sir.
Okay, boy, what? Satan, boy. All right, hold on. Let's try one more.
It's about 1%. So I accept that there is always room for improvement.
Is it showing up?
Like it. Sir. It's showing, but the video is for Rosen, sir. I can have a go from my end, sir, if you like.
Bear with me one. Just bear with me one. How was my thing looking? Like me. You're seeing me definitely?
Cancer, we can see you.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Bear with me one. You have your lined up already?
I can get it, sir. Cancer.
Okay, pull it. For some reason, I don't know what the hell is going on. However, I guarantee it has something to do with these devil guys.
Oh,
We talk about puppet, we talk about the Scottish dude. We talk about, it's too much. It's like, nah, we gotta interfere with these niggas' broadcast.
That's right.
Yeah, something's up. I can't even pull the page up no more.
Concert, I have the video.
Oh boy, yeah, it looks horrible. Because the audio is lower.
250,000 stop and searches a year, and our complaints rate is very low. It's about 1%. So I accept that there is always room for improvement, and we will absolutely make sure that we work with our officers to understand the impact.
Stop writing.
And work with the community to improve.
So you hear what she said? She said, we do 250 stop and frisk a year, but the complaints rate is very, very low. So, in other words, why would you even mention a complaint rate? Like, if you're doing your job, it's like, okay, if I say I've stopped, 250,000 pedophiles a year, but I mention like, what the fuck a pedophile have to complain about?
That's right.
Why is she mentioning the complaint rate?
So like I said, the reason why is she's trying to make it seem like as if they are doing the right thing. Meaning, like, if no one is complaining about it, then it doesn't make him look so bad.
Exactly. If nobody ain't, complaining or bringing any beef to it, then we must be doing our job. Then it must be okay. Our complaint rate is 1%. Hold on. And this bitch sitting here with a straight face. So 250,000 multiplied by 0.01. So out of 250,000 people, 2,500 people complain. Who do you think 2,500 is?
Lucky say.
It might be some black, some Somalians and whites.
Nah.
It's a lucky say.
Go ahead, Bungo.
What I'm getting at is she said there's a 1% complaint rate, and it sounds like, and then the article said 9-1, and it sounds like the 1% complaining is the white people that's stopping.
That's who's complaining. That's who's complaining. 1% of 250,000 is 2,500 people.
Come on, say.
For the whole year, you get 2,500 complaints. So everybody else is like, well, snap, you got guilty. If it was a 99% success rate, there would be no terrorism in London. But y'all missed the bombers.
Right.
Y'all missed the one who took the. You remember in London Bridge a few years ago? Somebody took a truck and ran over people and got out and stabbed people. So if 90% is black people and we ain't complaining, but then the 10% is other nations, then maybe the bombers is them and you all locking us up.
That's right.
Like, you ain't doing your job. jokes. Anyway, let's keep going. The brother is about to give her the business here.
Concert.
To work with the community and to make sure.
The microphone. Just put it back a little bit and get the microphone.
I'm still not clear on what the answer is to my first question. Do you
make sure that we do, but our office and work with the community to improve in those areas. But our officers work really hard to work with the community and to make sure that we do get positive interactions when we do stop and search.
I'm still not clear on what the answer is to my first question. Do you accept any of his criticisms or not?
So there's always room for improvement. You know, we will do stop and search because we want to take weapons off the street.
There's always room for improvement.
This is a devil, is a devil, is a devil. He said, do you accept the criticism? She's like, well, and she's talking all proper in English like a good cup of Tetley. A good cup of Tetley tea. Oh, well, there's room for... Listen, her husband is frustrated as could be. I guarantee you. She ain't doing her job at home, brother. Because she surely ain't doing the job in the office.
That's right.
This is a sorry woman. Sorry as can be. She knows they're wrong. She knows they're wrong, and she's still coming to the bullshit. Listen, I tell the brothers all the time. I can halfway understand how America was formed. Just for a little time over there and seeing some of the bullshit. I can halfway understand how people could say, let's jump in a boat and go somewhere else and make something better. Because this nonsense here, this is ridiculous. I could halfway get it. I could see, okay, she's sitting up there and saying, well, there's room for improvement. You was just boasting about 1%, only complaining, which means you was 99% right. What you want to improve on that? It's crazy.
It's
crazy. Go ahead,
Kind of one concert.
Every service, but he's made specific criticisms. Do you accept those specific criticisms about the way officers are approaching black people?
I don't agree with the criticisms. We work really hard with our officers to make sure that they understand the impact that stop and search has and work closely with our communities to make sure that we can build that trust, which is really important to enable us to have a really positive interaction and build that trust with our communities.
I fully disagree with the commander in terms of the complaints. Obviously, 1%. We don't have trust in the police. That's why we don't complain. So, and that's the issue within itself.
Give him a hand. Give him a hand, man. Give him a hand. Listen, it's a poor cultural practice we have, but he's telling her the truth. As a culture, black people, we don't complain, and that just comes down from slavery. It just comes down of, put your head down and go, especially Benjamites, we just, push through. You get the point? That's just it. That's just what it is. And we'll deal with that and just keep it moving. But as black people on the whole, all the tribes, we will never complain. Very rarely. We don't complain as much because we don't trust them. Because they're not to be trusted. And he's telling her the full out facts. Now, it's a poor cultural practice, but this is the reality. You understand? The real issue at the end of this, I'll tell you what we should do as a people. Go ahead.
Between the Black British community and the Met Police. And obviously it's outdated rhetoric of obviously guns, drugs and weapons. And the problem is that for us now is that you're using this rhetoric to justify the mistreatment and dehumanizing kind of factors of stop and search, especially the Black British community. And the thing is, you're not actually listening to the Black British community. And I think the Met Police are kind of in their own bubble and they think that they're doing a great job, but they're not being held to account by themselves in the right way, but also the community. And that's where we come in.
If stop and search gets thousands of weapons off the streets every year and leads to a sizable number of arrests and convictions, it's doing some good.
So the figures don't match up to what the Met Police are saying. And there's obviously, if you go to the British Journal of Criminology, there's been a number of papers written on stop and search which showcase that it doesn't actually deter crime. And the thing is that when you're doing it in this sporadic kind of blanketed approach, and it's not based on intelligence or actually based on obviously what it should be, which is evidence, then you're going to actually have a fallout with people that you're targeting, which is the Black British community.
Right. Listen. Somebody had to take up that one. That what is the British Criminology Journal. I need a copy of that ASAP. I need a copy of that journal ASAP because, okay, now the reporter, you might think the reporter was against the brother. He wasn't. He was being fair because now he jammed the lieutenant or the captain, whatever the hell her name is. He gave her a hard question. She fumbled. To balance journalism, he has to give him that hard question. So he said, listen, you know, black people don't complain. That's why your complaints are so low. If we did complain, the complaints would be high and it would show how bad you all are at your job. Then he said, well, listen, if they're getting all these guns and drugs and knives off the street, then stop and frisk is good. He's like, yo, the number's not adding up. For all them stop and frisk and arrests, the British Criminology Journal says this is not deterring crime. So that's their internal report showing that what they're doing is not making a difference, but just harassing people.
That's right.
That's all they're doing is just harassing people and harassing a specific group of people. The white man is the devil.
That's right.
He's the absolute devil. And this bitch went up there. I guarantee you, when she take, are we off? This fucking fuck. I guarantee she had a conniption. You know what I mean? After the interview, who the hell does he think he is? You know, blah 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 blah. I guarantee you, she lost a damn rag.
That's right.
I guarantee you, because how dare they ask me this and this nigga? Who the hell he think he is? I guarantee you, she lost it because he embarrassed the hell out of her. He embarrassed the hell out of her. Now, let me tell you, you put the UPK in charge of our nation. What is the real strategy here, Parashia? Right? Let me get you a real captain in the UK, not that wishy-washy, dry-ass rag that was just on TV. Captain Parashia, what would you tell the black community in the UK about this stop and frisk stuff? What is our recourse?
Our recourse is the commandments, sir.
That's true. That's our recourse for everything. But in this specific situation, the brother said, we don't complain. That's why your complaints are so low. What's our recourse?
Our recourse is to complain, sir. Complain, and make it hell for them every time.
That's it, Ak. That's it. That's warfare. To do it over and over and over. That's life in the UPK.
That's right.
You wake up every day and you do it over. You camps, lace your boots up. You count. If you sit and count how many times you lace and unlace your boots, you'd see how committed you are to our life. How many times you tie your meat tree and put your chain on and grab your Bible and shine your boots and wait for the boss to take you to class or to camp, or you sisters get the bread ready and get the damn wine and the meat and cook and get the children here braided. We do it over and over and over till it becomes our life. They make stop and frisk their life and they make it part of our life. Like they wake up and be like, all right, they're putting on their vest. All right, we're going to stop a certain amount of people. The scriptures say they meditate on the evil on their beds. That's in Psalms, I believe, or Job. All right, how they meditate evil on their beds. Meaning what? If he knows he's going to beat the street tomorrow, he's out looking for who is the latest rapper to come out of the area, what street he's calling out in the song, where was the last bit of arrest made, because he's a cunning hunter. He's coming to stop that area and frisk everybody and hope he gets an arrest and hope he lock out and, find some drugs or some weed or whatever. Well, brother, we have to make complaint in our life. We have to now move as a unit, as a nation and nothing else. Like we in this fight too much as individuals. I just saw a video, just a sidebar. You all know Philadelphia police cops, Philadelphia Police Department, they killed a brother in Philly Monday evening, right? They shot a brother in Philly. He's all the way off the chain right now. They ran over a cop, I think Tuesday night or Monday night, ran over a cop with a truck. Philly's all the way off the hook again. I just saw a video. This huge brother. The brother had to be about 6'5", maybe 6'8", walk up to a line of police, and he have people behind him. And he's like, yeah, let's go. And then he cracks one of them cops out, halfway knocked them out. And everybody ran and left him. It took 5 cops to wrestle this brother to the ground. Now, I'm not advocating assaulting any cop. I'm not advocating any of that. However, he was ready to, go do what he had to do, and he was left for dead. You think them cops is gonna, just arrest him and put him in the car and take him to prison? He's gonna pay for the whole city, He's gonna pay for the whole city. So knowing that, when we take recourse, it has to be everybody or it can't be anybody.
That's right.
One of us get pulled over and stop and frisk. Hey, officer, how you doing? You having a good day? Yeah, we just coming to check you. No problem, officer. Do your job. You mind? What precinct are you attached to? What police station? That's what you're calling, right? Police station?
That's right, sir.
What station are you attached to? Oh, that's over there on such and such street. Okay. Who's your lieutenant on duty? Who's your duty? Who's in charge tonight? Who's the captain on watch tonight? Okay, what's your name again? What's your badge number? And as you asking him them questions, watch the search de-escalate. Try it if you think I'm lying. And it's not a bluff. You asking them questions because you're going to put a complaint on his ass as soon as the search is over. Don't go home. Don't go home. Go straight to the station. Like, as a people, we need to start doing that. And not just you. The witnesses who was there. Everybody. Somebody across the street who saw you and say, hey, what they doing to you? Say, man, you know how they do? I'm going to call you. As soon as the search, you're free to go, man. You understand, we're just doing our job. No problem, officer. Where you say your station was again? Drive straight there. Go home. Listen, get so on your job about it. Print out the complaint forms and keep them in your car. Keep them in your bag. Keep them on you. And as soon as it's done, yeah, you, let's go. Going down to the station. Complaint on Officer Dibbles. On Bobby Williams. Yes, he was aggressive. He stopped us for no paperwork. At the end of the year, there will be 250,000 complaints on the 250,000 stop and frisk. Let's see if something don't happen. Let's see if something don't happen now. Like we can't. Okay, we don't understand the war we're in. That's why we're so passive with certain violations. You get the point? Just like what happened with the white boy from Scotland and the rapper there in the red tracksuit. I don't know what's his name. But that white boy understands it's us against these niggas. We don't look at it like that. So now we is just like, well, man, lead them. We can't do nothing. No, there is something you could do. You could come together, O nation not desired.
That's right.
That's what we could do. We could come together. You can't write, you can't read, ain't no sweat. I'll fill the form out. Just sign it. I'll fill it out. Just sign it. And when they call you to ask you what happened, know what you're going to tell them. Film it. We have footage. We have this. Before long, they'll send him somewhere in, Essex somewhere. Somewhere, where there's only goats. Some of them back roads where there's only goats and rabbits and gophers. And he'll pull them over. He'll see if he find a knife in the wool, in the sheep wool. They'll transfer him because there's too much paperwork coming in. Because that paperwork, somebody had to process it. That's why cops don't like paperwork. Give it to them.
That's right.
Give it to them. Like, we in this fight, we have to do everything that we could do. You understand? We are not a country with an army where we could go drop bombs on Westminster or, blow up London Bridge. We don't have a nation. But the little that we could do, we should be doing that 100%, 200%. We could complain, go complain. We could bring charges against this cop, let's do it. We could file lawsuits, let's do it. Let's do it. Go to find a black solicitor and, one of them freebie black solicitors that only take the money if you win. Case after case after case, no problem. It takes 6 months, I'll be there. I'll be at the courthouse. And don't miss it. Be on time. And watch and see the problem go away.
That's right.
Watch and see it go away. Like, these people are despicable. This old dry-ass broad sitting down there talking, boasting at 250,000. That's crazy. That's insane. You could be walking with your child, your little daughter or son had to stand there and watch you get belittled. Have to stand there and watch that mess. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And I wonder what statistic, what number of this among the stop and search is women. It seemed to only be men. Now, and this is not separating us, but I'm just showing you how the target goes. It's old school slave mentality to just belittle a black man as much as you could. Devalue him in his own society, in his own house. And now, he ain't worth nothing no more.
That's right.
You dig?
Concert, if a Mesa,
go ahead.
It's like it's now so when it comes to them, you know what I mean? They can't stand to even look at us like, for example, you'll be on the road looking nice, and that police officer in his mind's like, who do you think you are, man?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who do you think you are? And then now, allegedly drugs, knife, you know what I mean? And they make something up just to try and get in your mind, like, listen, I am above you, man. I don't care how nice you look. When it's all done with, you answer unto me.
That's right.
That's what it is, sir.
That's it. That's it. You're absolutely right with that.
Concert, and just last thing, it was a book I brought. It was written by a police officer. Her name was Ellen Elizabeth, and she wrote about her time while she was there, and she admitted it in her book that the police have something against those that are black. She admitted it that you know what I mean, it's the one who stopped them. They lie and say that they could smell some weed, and to go that's one of the most easiest things that they can do. So now, unlike that, they can stop anyone they like. But you know what I mean? In his car, I thought I could smell something.
Right.
Because that was the excuse that they had a lot. And I have the book. I don't have it on me now, but yeah, it is a good book.
Yeah, that what she's saying there is the truth. They'll say whatever. They'll say whatever because they're really stopping him because we're black, and that's that.
Kind of one kind.
You know what I mean? They'll say whatever. You dig?
Concert. I have a next article, sir, regarding the Windrush. So in the Windrush again, there is another case of a man who was classified as an illegal immigrant. You know what I mean? And again, it's all done because they want us gone. Meanwhile, there are really illegal immigrants here.
Right.
But you want to mess with those that they came here in the right way.
Right.
You mean we worked on the NHS, the London Underground. You mean we made England while it is, and you want to get rid of us. Meanwhile, in the UK, there's tons of illegal immigrants, man.
That's right.
And it's like no one don't mess with them. You want to know a fact? Once an illegal immigrant reaches here, he can't go back. So now, really now, the hardest job they have is just to reach England. Right. And then can't go back. So once they're here, now, you know what I mean? They need a house, a job, a car. So
right.
Now the hardest job for them is to reach here. So now, you know what I mean? Once they're here, they can relax and go, well, listen, I'll get him arrested now. But once I'm released, then, you know what I mean? They have to look after me. And that's what they understand. Meanwhile, people that was here worked, they have to go, man.
Right.
And that's so wrong.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I think I have a video with a journalist saying that same thing. A journalist, I think, on BBC, one of the BBC stations or Sky stations, he was saying that same thing. That is, people who built the country and served, you pushing them out quickly. But other people who is known to be, drug dealers and kingpins and all that, you let them stay. You create programs for them. You know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy, Ak.
Concert is ridiculous. And
Hey,
then
let me ask you, Ak, is my audio and stuff still choppy?
last sir, with the audio, sir, that's fine, sir. With the video, it's gonna be like what's the best word to say?
It's like pixelated.
That's right, sir. Concert.
All right, no sweat. Let me try and go out and come back in again. All right.
Concert. Kind of the one con. So you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? It's like this now. From as long as they reach England, they're fine. So now you know what I mean? They can hide on the back of a van, a lorry, and from the here, they're laughing. They're like, well, listen, I'm in England now. You like have to look after me, and that's what happened. You know what I mean? I won't say any names, but it was a guy who was a friend of mine. You know what I mean? He's with some friends, and in like a lorry, he noticed that it was kind of like wiggling about, and then now it was a knife is come out, and with the earth inside, someone's hand come out, and then now it was an illegal it was an illegal immigrant, and you know what happened? He didn't jump out and run. He was laughing. It come out and went by the wall, and of course, you know what I mean. It wasn't him alone. Other people saw what happened too. So of course, you know they got on the phone, called them 999, and guess what? When the police came, they arrested him, and he was laughing. You wanna know why? Because he knows that you arrest me now, but when I'm released, England's going to look after me.
Right.
So when he came out, he didn't need to, you know what I mean, jump out of the HGV and run. He knew, well, I'm in England, like that. Well, you know, I'll just wait here and look now, you know what I mean? For all we know, he probably got a nice house, nice car. They're probably, you know what I mean, sending him lots of money every week, and he's not working, man. And he's not working, and that's the problem, man. And then now us who came here legally, remember this? England wanted us here.
That's right.
We have to go, man. All of a sudden now, we just have to go. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Even where I work, we got like foreigners washing cars and stuff, and they can't even speak a lick of English. You know what I'm saying? And I asked one of the managers, when Brexit happens, are they going to be deporting these immigrants? And he says, no, they can't deport anybody. And I was like, how can they not deport them when they got here illegally? They can't even speak English. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I realized, man, when this Brexit thing happens, what they're gonna do is they're gonna start criminalizing us and deporting us. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be deporting these Polish people who come here illegally because that's how the system works. You know what I mean?
That's right, man. That's right, man. You know what I mean? It's all about us. You know what I mean? They like to act like it's fair, but it's obviously not fair. If one race, you know what I mean? It's like one race, if it happens unto us a lot, much more than another race, then it obviously cannot be fair.
That's right.
It obviously cannot be right, man. You know what I mean? It is obviously something wrong, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, as a black man, when you talk about them things, you're racist, man.
Right.
You're wrong, and you're not saying nothing wrong. It's reality. It's like as if they hate you for what is obvious.
Right.
They hate you for what you can see, and it's right there. You know what I mean? If something's red, it's red.
Right.
You can't hate me for saying, well, that's red, you know. Oh, here we go again, man. The victim, play the victim. Well, this is obviously red. And likewise, we get stopped and searched a lot much more than any other race, man.
That's right.
It's not rocket science. It's like when you talk about it, you're this bad black guy, man. I mean, we got another article when the captain comes back in. You know what I mean? Just into the stop and search. You know what I mean? Off the back of that, Thawada to the who was that? To Arzana what I you know what I mean? Sent me this article on the back of what we just went into.
It's lucky if it could. Also, on the Windrush thing, England's got a way of using black people for when they need us. Like what happened when they needed England built up factories and whatnot? What did they do? Oh, you can come over to England and help build it up. When they wanted you to fight in World War One, what did they do? Oh, you can come and join the military and you can become British. What happened when it came to World War Two? You can come and join. When it came to what World War Two, there was like, oh, you black people can come over and be part of Great Britain. When it comes to the World Cup, what happens? They love black people until they lose the World Cup, and then the racism comes out.
That's right.
Happens all the time. Also, another thing, like now, what you're realizing in the midst of this coronavirus, every black man knows that on a night out, you could not get a taxi home, man. A black man couldn't get a taxi home. Why? Because of the color of your skin. So you couldn't even get a taxi home. So you had to drive drunk, man. Whereas now, coronavirus, these taxi drivers, guess what? They got no customers. Now they're begging black men to jump in their taxi.
That's right.
I'll take you first, and that you can pay later. England's got listen. England knows how to use black people. Now these taxi drivers ain't making no money. Black people are welcoming the taxi because they want our money. No worry. I'll just walk. It's okay. I'll walk with my black brothers, man, and keep my taxi money. I'd rather do that. World War II, fighting World War II. Now I'd rather sit back and watch you lose World War II, World War III. That's what I'd rather do. Because why? England's got a history of using black people, man.
That's
For
right.
every occasion. When it comes to the World Cup, what's his name? Sterling and whatnot. He means something.
Rashford.
Now that Rashford wants free school meals for underprivileged kids, he can't have it. But when it comes to him kicking a ball all day, they want him to do that, man. Watch when the Euro and the World Cup comes around again. They're gonna love black people again because they know we bring them closest to them ever, even qualifying. Because it's not, no, it ain't Lampard. It ain't, who else is it? It ain't Steven Gerrard. It ain't Michael Owen. It's the black players on the football team, man, that actually give England a chance of even coming close in the World Cup, man. And they use us after the. I remember one World Cup. Darius Vassal missed the penalty, man. Do you remember that one? He missed the penalty.
I remember that one, yeah.
He missed the penalty. He kicked it straight at the goalkeeper, man. And Darius Vassal, he dropped on his face and he was crying on the pitch. And the reason he was crying on the pitch is not because he missed the penalty. It's because he knows the racism that comes with missing a penalty, man.
That's right.
He knows the death threats which comes with missing the penalty as a black man. I mean, a black man to miss a penalty in the World Cup. He knew he was crying because he knew with missing that penalty, the race riots that's going to come with it, the racism that's going to come with it. Whereas one time David Beckham missed the penalty and he just hugged everyone like without a care in the world, man. One time Wayne Rooney did what when he stepped on Cristiano Ronaldo's groin?
Yeah.
Without a care in the world, man. If a black man done that in the World Cup, listen, man, a black man would be getting hanged in the streets because why? You've made England get kicked out of the World Cup.
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean? You'll get called every racist name, wag, gollywog, jig, goon. You know what I mean? They're right to you. You know what I mean? Right in the whole list of abusive language, man. And it's true. It's obviously not fair. And it's like they hate that when you even speak up about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like they want you just to endure, be quiet, and just handle it. No. You know what I mean?
That's right.
On this earth, as a man, everyone has the right to defend himself, man.
That's right.
As a man, you have the right to speak up for yourself. But it's like when it comes to us, it's just so wrong. As a black man, you know, you talk up for yourself. Here we go again, man. It's always gotta be race with you, man. It's always gotta be this and that. When you know what I mean, you're just talking up for yourself, and we're hated for even doing that, man.
It's lucky if I could. Also, when a black man talks up for himself, what's the first thing to say? Oh, you're being aggressive. Listen, man, aggressive is you hanging black men from trees.
That's right.
Aggressive is you shooting Mark Duggan. Me saying black people is treated wrong. That's not aggressive, man. That's me being upset for how you treated me. Maybe if you stop hanging us from trees, stop shooting black men, stop and searching us. Maybe we would be a little quiet, but we've got a leg to stand on with everything that we're saying. And then, oh, you're aggressive. Then police was aggressive to that black man when he's got his own bank card.
That's right.
What they're trying to say is a black man's got a bank card. Black men don't work legally. Like you don't get drug dealers don't have bank cards. That's what they're really trying to say. Drug dealers don't have bank cards. So they assume, oh, he stole someone's bank card when really, when you look at who's doing all the fraud, it's the East Indians and the Nigerians, man.
That's right.
They're known for all the fraud, man. But like Caribbean people ain't really known for fraud. but they try and target us, and we get the blame for everything that goes wrong. Everything that white people do, we get the blame for.
Right.
Everything Chinese people do, we get the blame for. Now they're blaming black people. Oh, they don't want to wear their masks. Black people are always partying. It's lockdown. You meant to be blaming the Chinese for all the lockdown, man. And
That's
this is
right.
and this is why during this lockdown, this is why I'm so glad that the Into building, which they recently opened, has closed down. Mary Hill's closing down.
That's right.
This is why I'm so glad Deb and them went into administration.
That's right.
This is why I'm so glad House of Fraser's about to go into administration. And this is why we should be so glad that this economy is falling right in front of our eyes. And guess what? We didn't need to lift a finger, man. All we need to do is serve God, sit back and watch the ride, man.
That's right.
Because guess what? They can't arrest God, man, for bringing the coronavirus.
Right.
They can't stop and search God for bringing the coronavirus, man.
That's right.
So all we need to do is sit back and just watch every business close and watch them lose their jobs and watch them get depressed, man. And then that's their business, man. I mean, this is their country. They tell us this ain't our country, so we don't care when their business is closed down because it's not our country.
That's right.
But go ahead.
Listen, if I could, I could talk about that was absolutely right. Like, that's who they should be stopping and being aggressive with. What's your prime minister name again?
Boris Johnson.
Boris wasn't aggressive with the corona thing when it came out. He was letting them Asians come.
Right.
Like, how in the hell did corona reach England from the other side of the continent?
That's right.
Like, you could have closed the border. You could have said, you know what, Chinese people, you can't come here. You can't come here. And if Scotland think they don't have Chinese people, we stop them right up north. You ain't gonna be able to come south. But he let them come in. He was not aggressive with them. Look at how aggressive they're moving with this brother Rashford, Marcus Rashford.
That's right.
Like, look at how they are now, because of what he's doing with his own money and with his own little political strings that he pulling, he getting other people to join and help. They're full.
Lucky sir. The connection. No, we are on. Yep, it's secure. But yeah, what Captain Mashak said, it it was right, man.
Right.
It's like, you can't have anything, man. You know what I mean? What's his name again? Marcus Rashford. You know what I mean? He's trying to do what he can. And it's like they hate him for that, man. It's like you had a verse to bring up.
On the back of what Dangobar said about this kingdom coming down. It's Malachi 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
And you know what? That's the spirit of the white man there, man. Regardless of any bad thing that happened, he thinks, you know what? Don't worry, man. We're going to get back on our feet. You know what I mean? That's white people for you, man.
Right.
Anything that happens, we're going to make England great, man.
Right.
Great Britain. We're going to do this and that. And that's how they think now.
That's right.
Read on.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
And there you go, man. And I'm gonna let you in on something. They use us to make them have something, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? What a lot of people don't like to admit is that with the UK, it's here because of black people, man.
That's right.
We built the NHS, man. Worked on the London Underground. You know that London Underground that goes from North London to South to East to West? Black people made that, man.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And they have an empire off the back of black people, and God is throwing it down, man.
That's right.
Like what we're reading in the Bible. You know what I mean? They're going to make as much, but God is always going to throw it down, man.
That's right.
They're always going to get thrown down. Read on.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
And that's your oppressor, man. He's the border of wickedness, man. Anything wicked, it just comes from him, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Even things that, you know what I mean? All right, I'll give you an example. Even one of us that we're not in the I.S.U.P.K, there's things that naturally we won't do.
Right.
Meanwhile, any white man, they see it as like, fine, like, yeah, whatever. And as a black man, you're like, no,
right,
you can't do that, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's wrong. And in their eyes, it's like, no, what's wrong with that? And why? Because they are the border of wickedness, man.
That's right.
Even in our wickedness, we are not as wicked as them.
That's right.
Even though, you know, we've lost our identity in religion, there's things that as a nation of people we will not do.
Right.
But guess what? Your oppressor, he's the border of wickedness, man.
That's right.
I'm gonna give you an example. You know what I mean? Right now, when it comes to the white man, imagine this: you're going to deport, you're going to deport a people that helped to make you happy, man.
Right.
They came to England, worked to make England better for you,
Right.
and you deported them, and you don't even blink about it, man.
That's right.
Why? Because you are the border of wickedness, man.
Right.
Anyone with a conscience will go, well, you know what I mean? Hang on a second. We can't do that, man.
Right.
These people came here, look, man, they worked. You mean they gave us everything, man? You mean the least we can do is let them stay here?
That's right.
You mean even though they've made England rich, you mean they ain't rich?
Right.
So the least we can do is make them remain. But guess what? Them being so wicked, you mean they want your gun, man.
Right.
Even though you're in England and you made it rich and you don't have anything, you have to go as well, man.
Right.
Why? Because our oppressor is the border of wickedness, man.
That's right.
Is there any more on that?
Yes. The people against whom the Lord have indignation forever.
And the Lord has indignation with them forever, man. What is that? Righteous anger, man. Indignation is righteous anger, and the Lord has it with them forever, man.
Right.
I know, you know, some people go, well, come on, there must be some. No, man. You know what I mean? And I said this in the class last night, man. You know what I mean? Inside every oppressor, deep down in him, he thinks he's better than you, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Everyone talks that nice talk. We're all one. You know what I mean? Listen, man, whether you're black, white, yellow, red with spots, pink with spots, purple with spots. You know what I mean? All that sounds nice, but nobody believes it, especially the oppressor, man.
Right.
He does not believe it. And deep down he thinks, I'm better than you, man.
Right.
You mean, there was a video one time. It was a white girl. I think a black girl said something offensive to her, and like, I think it was something that she had on, and she responded, and she's like, well, at least I'm not black. I can wear something else, but you're black.
Right.
And that was in England. You know what I mean? I can't find the video now. I probably still, you know, roughly see if it's there still. But that's what she said.
Right.
And now I bet you when she's around everybody, well, you know what I mean? We're all the same. We all bleed red. But guess what? When they're offended, they let you know that we ain't the same, man.
That's right.
They let you know that we ain't the same, man. So let's get into another article. This one here. Met police criticized for multiple errors. If you want to read that or you want to get it on your phone. So we're gonna get into another article from the Guardian. I'm sorry, man. My mind's still on that Scotland rapper. You know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I mean, I gotta vent some more when I get a chance. I might show them A-star. Show them, look, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It makes a Scouse accent look bad. You could never make Glasgow sound good in your life, man. Forget about it.
Right.
With your bagpipes and your haggis. Yeah, scrub that.
Right. MET police criticized for multiple errors in stop and search practice.
So now, you know what I mean? Off the back of the video you watched, this article lets you know that there is errors, meaning a lot of what they are on about 1% only complain. That might even be an error.
Right.
Who says that's even true, man? And
actually, I did read the article and it said there was actually 522,000 stop and searches.
You see it there. So that means on that interview that she had, she was lying about the results, man.
That's right.
You mean she was trying to make the police force look better? Read on.
London force accepts watchdog advice over flawed tactics undermining community confidence.
And you see it there in this image right here. What type of hands do you see, man? Black hands, man.
Right.
Meaning, you mean even who read this article? No, sweat. I'll read it from here. Okay, so that means now, even in this article, what is the point they want to make? Is that the SHALAM and the search, it's unequally on the end of black people, man.
Right.
Look, you mean what's it saying? It's a picture speaks 1,000 words.
That's right.
And there you go. So even on this article right here, they're letting you know that this mainly affects black people, man.
Right.
If you I know, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Slacky, the mic was on mute.
So yeah, this it says the Met Police criticized for multiple errors in stop and search practice, and understand this, man. What like what Captain Mishak said, we need to continuously keep complaining, man. Let them know every time you harass us, we're gonna harass you, man. Every time you think you're bothering us, don't worry, man. We got time. We're gonna come to the station and bother you. I want to sit down with your what do they call him here, the sergeant?
Right.
I want to sit down with the sergeant. I want to know the sergeant's name, and I want to tell him, I think this guy you got on the force ain't doing his job properly, man. And you must not be doing yours properly if you're the one who trained him. He's stopping and searching us on a large scale. And then when you look at it, black people don't commit as much crime as they would make you believe.
That's right.
Like they make out like we commit more crime than everybody else, which is a lie, man. Like they make out like stop and search should only happen in the ghetto, and this is why what happens? They stop and search mostly in Handsworth. They put all the cameras in Handsworth outside your house, in your parks. Whereas when you go places like Four Oaks or Little Aston, where our oppressor lives, there's no cameras there. But what you'll realize is in them areas where our oppressor lives, people go missing, man.
Right.
People get found at the bottom of the pond 20 years time from now. They get found in some woodland 10 years time from now. And the reason why they get away with it is why? Because the police let them go under the radar.
Right.
The police allow them to do whatever they want. Meanwhile, they're focusing on you. Guess what? That white man's that's driving past in his car, he's got a body in the suitcase in the boot, man. He's got a body in the boot. Meanwhile, they're stopping and searching you, talking about, oh, you've got a weapon on you. When you ain't got no weapon on you, do you know where that scripture is where it goes, what I hate most is the slander of a city. It's in where is it? It's in a proverb somewhere. It's in Proverbs somewhere. I can't remember where. But this is what they do, man. They make out like we're uncivilized, and we need all the police in our neighborhood. And this is why when they say, oh, we cutting police. That's a lie, man. They ain't cutting no police. You see police where all in our neighborhoods. Police ain't in Four Oaks or Little Aston.
That's right.
And what happens is what? This is all our oppressors do what? They come to our cities, cause problems, and then they leave. And then we be in the ghetto, guess what? They got all the cameras there. You can't walk up and down Soho Road without cameras turning everywhere you go.
Right.
Just walk and look behind you, you'll see the camera. 1 minute the camera's facing that way. You walk that way, the camera ends up facing that way. Birchfield Road, there's cameras everywhere. Do you know the slander of the city?
It's in the
So that's what happens, man. I'm gonna pull a scripture for you real quick. There.
Yeah, man. And what the officer said, you know what I mean? It's right, man. You know what I mean? Everyone likes to act like it's fair, and it's very obvious that it's not fair, man. One race of people are being attacked more than any other, and it's obvious. Just that the thing is, people would rather ignore it, man. It's not rocket science. You know, anyone can look and go, well, it seems like the police stop more black people than anyone else. You know what I mean? It's not so far fetched. Everyone likes to make it seem like, you know, as a black man, you're just whinging, you're moaning, and it's not the case, man. It's very obvious that, you know what I mean, one race of people are getting attacked more than another. And when you dare to speak about it, you're just this angry black guy, man.
Right.
You're this black guy that just can't let things go, and you know they make you seem like you're so bad, and it's really not the case. You know what I mean? When you get that, and you know what I mean, I'm gonna show you some UK rappers that have accents, and guess what? They're doing wonderful, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They're doing excellent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into. We're gonna show you a few examples. Now, I know it's in the Apocrypha, but all right, we got that. We got that article. We get that verse. So let's get into this article right here, man, about the Windrush, man. And it's sad. Like, what hurts the most is the Windrush thing, the Windrush scandal. It is widely known, and it still doesn't stop our oppressor, man.
Right.
It's not like something that happened and they're like, you know what, everyone's looking, let's stop. It's like when everyone turns their back for a minute, the oppressor like, all right, let's get them gone, man. Which shows the hate that our oppressor has for us, man.
Right.
So if you could read that for me.
So you can drop that. All right. What do you need?
Just this article on the Windrush. Got it right here. If you can read from there, or you want it on the phone?
I'll try read it. If I can't read it, then
I got you. No swear.
Says Windrush man wrongly classified as illegal immigrant left destitute for a year.
And imagine that, man. He was left destitute for a year, man.
Mm.
They claim that he was illegally in England, and imagine that you're left destitute for a year, man. So how are you gonna eat?
Right.
For a year, man. How is he gonna clothe himself for a year? And this is what happens to black people all over the world, man.
That's right.
All over the world. Read on.
Home Office delay described as shocking in report by parliamentary ombudsman.
So meaning, you know, now they're trying to act like it's a shock. I'm shocked that England could do this when England's been doing this to black people, man.
That's right.
England's been doing this to black people all the time and acting like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what we're doing. When, you know, this isn't nothing new, man. We're gonna get to that next. You know, people have to act like, I can't believe Great England, a country that bases its laws on the Bible. Yes, man. They're doing it. Read on. Yeah. Right.
An electrician who was wrongly
who?
An electrician.
And you know what's funny about this? He was actually here working.
Right.
Romanians don't work, you know.
Right.
The Polish, Eritreans, Somalians, they're not dealing with no electrical work, man.
That's right.
They're not doing nothing, man.
Right.
Every time in the doctor with a sick note, man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say no names. I know people that work in that industry there, and they are pissed off. They're like, gosh, man, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, they don't support England too, but they see it.
Right.
And they're like, damn, like all these immigrants coming here wanting sick notes, man. Ain't worked for months, man. Every time I can't work here, my back, you know what I mean? And then they go again. to go again. My finger, you know, somebody even like about the finger, you know.
Mhm.
My finger, you know, in my job, I gotta use my hands. I can't work. I need sick note, doctor. And listen, this man was what?
Electrician.
Electrician, man.
Right.
This man is helping England, paying his tax. You know what I mean? And he has to go, man. Meanwhile, other nationalities, they ain't working, man.
Right.
They come here, work for a month, and then it's a sick note till the day that they die, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? They find a nice job, and from there, sick notes, man. From there, you know what I mean? They never work a day in their life, man. And this man is working. Read on.
An electrician who was wrongly classified as being an illegal immigrant despite living in London for more than 45 years.
And imagine that, man. Lived in London 45 years, man. Working paid tax, man. And after 45 years, he has to go, man. Imagine that for a year, he can't support himself, man. And he has the ability to support himself. Read on.
Was destitute as he waited a year for the Windrush Task Force to decide on his application to stay in the UK. The parliamentary ombudsman has ruled applications to the task force were meant to be processed within 2 weeks. The year-long wait was described as shocking by the ombudsman in a detailed report published this week.
Oh, so now they make it seem like it's a shock. So you're telling me it took a year to handle this?
Right.
A man that's been paying tax for 45 years, working, and to have a job like that, he's in education.
Right.
You can't just do that because you want to. That's a job that, you know, you get educated in.
That's right.
So he's been here, you know what I mean? He's been around, and it took a year for you to decide whether this man should stay in England or not. The white man's the devil, man.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't be no argument, man. He's here. He's been here. Meanwhile, you know what I mean? I don't care what they are, the Somalians, Romanians, the Polish. They're here illegally, and they get to stay, man. And it doesn't take a year for them to work it out, neither, man.
Right.
Read on.
Shocking by the ombudsman in a detailed report published this week. The latest of series of highly critical reviews into the performance of the Home Office over the Windrush scandal. The parliamentary ombudsman has ruled that the Home Office should apologize and pay Mr. R 5,000.
Is that it?
Is that it?
5,000. With a job that he's got, you can make that in like 3 months, man.
Right.
That's not compensating no one. You compensate someone for what they've missed out on.
Right.
That's not compensation, man.
Right.
That's not compensation. And you know what I mean? I don't know this man, but I would recommend that he takes them to court and fights more, man.
Right.
Because with the slavery that he had, 5 grand in the space of over a year, he could be making more than that, man.
So lucky if I could. In that profession, 5,000 is about 10% of what he would have made a year, man.
Right.
A year, he probably would have made 50 grand as an electrician.
Yeah.
And they're going to give him what? 5,000. What can you do with 5,000 pounds, man? There's not a lot you can do with it. Imagine you're an electrician. So you got your life, you got your house, you got your car, you got your bills, and then for a year, you can't do nothing, man. For a year, you're sitting down waiting for something that should have took 2 weeks, and then they want to come and give you £5,000 as compensation. I'd say keep that compensation, man. I don't want £5,000. £5,000 is nothing compared to what it would have made. They need to give him at least £50,000, man.
Right.
£50,000 and another £50,000 just as good, some good fortune.
Right.
But our oppressor will never do that, man. This £5,000, that they gave him, it ain't costing them a thing, man. They're giving him something which is what? Free money to them. Like this ain't no sacrifice to them for them to give him 5 grand. But if they gave him even 50 grand, wouldn't be a sacrifice to them. But this is a slap in the face, man. You've had a year of work, a year of not being able to. How much is car insurance? About £1,000.
Yeah.
Car insurance is about £1,000 a year. Running your car in total is probably about £5 grand a year, man.
That's right.
That can't even run his car.
Right.
You want to read the rest of it?
Yeah.
Mr. R 5,000 in compensation for maladministration and delay in processing his case. Officials wrongly told him that he would be able to claim benefits while he waited for a decision, but he found himself unable to claim any support.
See, the white man's the devil, man.
Right.
They lied to him, saying that, well, while you're detained for a year, that you can get some benefits, and then it was wrong, man. You know what I mean? You've took everything from this man, and he can't even get benefits that like, you know what I mean, he deserves, man.
Right.
He's been working for how long, paying his tax. Can't he get the benefits?
Right.
Meanwhile, Romanians, they're getting benefits, man.
Right.
You mean those Somalians, they're getting benefits, man. Right. You mean right now they're in some hotels, man, nice hotels, and they're not paying a penny, man.
Right.
They get to eat out every day and not pay a penny.
Right.
And a man that worked here and got detained illegally, you can't even give him benefits, man.
Right.
You can't even give him benefits. And with the money that he's going to get, that's not going to help him.
Right.
Remember this now. If he's been detained for a year, he's behind on his rent. They're probably raided his house. You know what I mean? He probably go back to a house he thinks is his house, and there ain't even anything there, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? We like his car's gone. Forget about that, man. You know what I mean? Someone's got the high-hab on his car, man. It's gone, man. You know what I mean? His car's high-hab on the back of a HGV.
Right.
Gone. You know what I mean? His car ain't nowhere to be seen. And you really believe that $5,000 is gonna help that? The high-hab, with the restraints, just crane the car up on the back of the flatbed and took it away, man. You know what I mean? His car's gone, man.
So lucky also. So what I was gonna say. Oh, also what they like to do with the Windrush scandal, they like to always say, we only deport people that's committed the crime. This man was an electrician, man. He didn't commit no crime, which lets you know, they want to deport you whether you committed crime or whether you're not.
That's right.
So this is why us as black people, we shouldn't say, he's only getting deported. Why? Because he committed a crime. Because this man was an electrician, man. That's a good in the UK. That's a good profession, man. You being an electrician, that means you can wire things up and whatnot. Right. He can do all of that stuff, and they still want to deport him, and he was earning an honest living, man. With our oppressors, it's either the one to deport you, arrest you for giving you.
Graduate, whether you're not, that talk about
No, it's for them.
whether you're a graduate or not a graduate, man, to our oppressor, you still just some more sound.
Yeah,
so lucky, we got sound now. Someone give me a one if we got sound. Just give me a one. You can hear now. I don't know how much you heard, but what I said is, whether you're a graduate, an electrician, a criminal, to our oppressor, he's still a nigga, man. Like Jay-Z said, house nigga, field nigga, still nigga. That's like goes. Like we're saying, man. Don't ever let your job think you're too nice for your people. So don't ever forget and think that you're too nice for your people. Because what happens? Some of us get good jobs, and then we believe what? We believe, you know what? Nah, just them criminals get harassed by the police. Just black men committing crimes get harassed by the police. This brother was an electrician, and they still wanted to deport him.
That's right.
They told us a few weeks ago, we're only deporting the Windrush generation that commits serious crimes. I didn't think being an electrician was a crime. Man.
Right. That's right.
I didn't think that was a crime. I thought an electrician was an honourable job. And then some of us in positions will look at it like, oh, they just deport criminals. But this,
you know, whether you're a criminal, whether you're an electrician, whether you're that woman that worked for the Labour Party, the police look at us as all one in the same, man.
Right.
So we might as well all come together. And like I was saying, man, some people graduate and think that changes your race. People graduate and thinks, I'm no longer a nigger no more because I've got a master's. So you walk across the stage, you shake the man's hand, and what, you get the certificate. Right. You think you're black, and once you touch that certificate, you think you turn into a white man. By you touching that certificate which says you've made it, you think that changes your whole race? It don't, man. Because also, if you didn't know, statistics also say black graduates are less like most unlikely to not get a graduate job.
So hang on a second. You're telling me that as a black man, you know, you're gonna spend years in education, and it's very likely that you won't even get anything out of it.
Right. And they said that for a black person to get a graduate job, you're like what? 2 in 10, 1 in 10, 2 in 10. And that's actual statistics. They also said for a black person to get into Oxford University, it's like 1 in 10. They said if you got a black sounding name, you're less likely to even get a position in university. So based on you having a black name, man, if your name's Shanika or something, you ain't getting into Oxford, man.
Forget about it.
If your name's Craig or Tyrone, man, you ain't getting into Oxford. Why? Because they see your application and they see your name and they know you're black just by reading it. So you're thinking, oh, why ain't I getting no interviews? You're thinking, oh, maybe there's just no jobs out there. You're thinking maybe there's just no jobs out there. The thing is this, man, there is jobs out there. There's just not jobs for you.
That's right.
Because you've got a black sounding name. But if your name is something like Edward or whatnot, you get called for an interview. Also, statistics show, like they had two identical stories, and they just switched the names around. One had a black sounding name, one had a white name, and they said the one with the black sounding name sounded way more aggressive than the one with the white sounding name. Based off your name, they view you as being aggressive. So we come to England and we think, you know what? We're gonna find peace. They're gonna love us. We're gonna get along with them. Not every white person's bad. Listen, man. The whole system is white supremacy, man.
That's right.
The whole system is white supremacy, which does what? Keeps black people at the bottom. Because they can't have you being a doctor, man.
Right.
They can't have you being a lawyer. I mean, they can't have you being a doctor, man, or a lawyer. You know why? They need their people to be lawyers, and they need you to be the criminal, man. They need their lawyers to represent you in court. They can't have you representing them in court. And one time there was a black lawyer, and he was in the court, and you know what they said to him? The article somewhere, you know what they said to him? I think you're in the wrong place. You should be in the dock. Can you remember that one?
Yeah, I heard that one.
They said to him, you should be in the dock. As to say, a black man can't even be a lawyer. And then, because this black man was a lawyer, guess what they did? They targeted him for other cases, saying, oh, we don't believe he's an honest lawyer. When no lawyers are honest, man. All lawyers are there, so they get paid. I mean, your lawyer will speak to you and your lawyer will say, yeah, we know you've done the crime, but if you say this will more than likely get you off. The lawyer knows you've done the crime, man.
Right.
So if you're gonna target a black man and say, oh, he's not an honest lawyer, target every single white man, man, because they're not honest lawyers.
Right.
Listen, man, all those mafia men that was in the courtroom, they paid off the jury, man. Why you think they called, what's his name, the Teflon Don? Which one's that one? John Gotti. Why you think they called John Gotti the Teflon Don? Why? His lawyer knew that he committed all them crimes. And what did they do? Paid off police, paid off the jury. If you want to know anything about a corrupt system, man, you need to watch all these mafia movies, how our oppressor used to pay off the jury, pay off the judges, pay off the politicians. Whereas when black men are criminals, guess what? You don't have the politician in your palm, man.
That's right.
You don't have the police in your palm. You can't pay off the police because why? The police hate you and you hate the police, but the police love the mafia and the police would let them know exactly who the witnesses was so they could go and wipe them out, which lets you know, man, the system is fixed towards them and not fixed towards you. And this is why John Gotti and all of them are looked at as great family men. And then you're looked at as what? Baby boy that still lives with your mom. You're looked at as, what's his name? Jody. You're looked at as Jody, just a baby boy that still lives with your mom. You're just a menace to society. Meanwhile, they're good fellas. And what's the next one? They're godfathers. And every movie that they got, they take care of their family. Have you noticed they all take care of their family? Their woman's in order. Like they're the biggest gangsters in the world. Their woman's in order, always in the kitchen. But our gangster movies, what happens? We gangsters for other black men, but our women control us. Our women poke us in the head and kick us out and put the bags up. But I don't want to talk too much on that. But go ahead.
No, sir. We got a video. So in the UK, the first black woman in the police force. So we're gonna get into this video. And again, man, racism, it always comes down to the same thing, time and the time again, man. So we're gonna switch this on. Right, grab the screen share. We got a few videos left and
inside and outside of the force, she paved the way for other black women to join the Met Police. As part of our coverage of Black History Month, Ms. Allen has spoken to Sky News about her historical achievement, as well as the race inequalities which still exist in Britain today. Sky's Mel Phillips has this special report.
London is the place for me. London, this lovely city.
Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Jamaicans were encouraged by...
I'm gonna stop it right there, man. And that's the problem that we have, man. That song right there, that is the problem that black people had, man.
Right.
London is the place for me. No, it's not, man.
Right.
London is the place. No, it's not, man. That is the problem. That is the problem. London ain't for you, man.
Right.
Play on, man.
By the British government to leave their homes and come to the UK. That open invitation led to one woman changing the course of history.
This is me at Peel House, Westminster Metropolitan Police Training School at the time. I didn't set out to make history. I just wanted a change of direction. And this was on the 19th of April, 1968. It's a long, long journey, but I'll do it all over again.
Stop right there, man. Do you know what that means? It means that despite what happened, she is willing to do it all over again, man.
Right.
Nah, man. You know what I mean? Depending on what it is, if something's hurt that bad, you shouldn't do it over again, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Many things happen in someone's life, and you don't want to go through that again. And she's saying, like, I would do it all over again. That's not an achievement, man. It is not an achievement. You know what I mean? The things that we look at and go, yes, I have achieved something. You really haven't, man.
That's right. So
And that's
if I could real quick. Yeah, good. I know straight away that she wasn't treated equal in the police force, man. I know she could never go arrest a white man. Right. I'm telling you, all of her missions had to be arresting black people, because there's no way they're gonna allow her to arrest. I mean, 1968, white people didn't even respect black people, man. So you think some white man's gonna put his hands behind his back for some black woman trying to? Nah, man, it ain't gonna work that way. What happened is she probably was harassing us, and this is why recently, as recent as last year, they came out with an article saying that they want more black people in the police force to fix strained relationships between the police and black people, meaning they want black people to sell out. Right. That's what they mean. They mean they want sellouts to sell us out. Like they want us to join the police force to fix relationships between black people. So when we go arrest a black person and harm them, they can be like, well, it wasn't a white cop that done it, it was a black cop. But what happens is when you become a black police officer, you take on the mark of the beast, man.
That's right.
And you become like a white man. Like you're fulfilling his mission. So the same way the white man would harm a black person, you would do that because that's their agenda, man. And that's the whole point of the mark of the beast. You carry out what they would usually do. Go on, you know, say something.
Yeah, what's the scripture that says them joining the enemy hand in hand, they shall be thrust through?
Thinking about Isaiah 13.
Isaiah 13.
12.
Yeah, 13 and 12. Let's play and look.
In the Metropolitan Police, Britain's first coloured policewoman, Mrs. Cislin Fay Allen from Jamaica.
The journey began 52 years ago. This was Cislin Fay Allen, aged 29. As a new recruit, she's taking part in a mock exercise at the Metropolitan Police Training School in London. At the time, she became the first black policewoman in Britain. And it was whilst working as a nurse in South London when she decided to join the force.
I was on my lunch break and going through the papers, I saw this advertising they were recruiting police officers.
I'm gonna skip
Yeah. So I looked at it and I thought,
So in your own time, it's on the Facebook page, I.S.U.P.K, United Kingdom. So I'm gonna just skip to the meat of it for time's sake.
when they see me, they would think I didn't know she was black or something like that, you know? So I specifically wrote there that I was black.
But there were friends who were telling you that they wouldn't accept a black.
I penned at the bottom of it that I was a black woman because I didn't want, if I had succeeded and when they see me, they would think I didn't know she was black or something like that, you know? So I specifically wrote there that I was black.
And imagine that, man. That's how racist England is, man. That, you know, even on the job form, she had to write "I am black" before, you know, when she comes to the interview to see like, whoa, I didn't know that you was black. So what achievement really has been done, man?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you have to admit it yourself that, you know what I mean, you had to write that you was black. Otherwise, you know what I mean, if you would have just showed up there being black, you would have wasted your time, man.
Right.
But there were friends who were telling you that they wouldn't accept a black woman in the police.
When I went back to work, and my friend, I was saying to her, you know, I think I am going to join the police force. And she said, don't be so silly, they're not accepting black people. And then I said, well, I've got news for you, I've been accepted. And she couldn't believe it.
Cislin managed to defy the odds to pursue her dream.
All right, man. So we're gonna start there. You know what I mean? It's a good video. You know, watch it in your own time. But for time's sake, you know what I mean? The point is made, man, that they wasn't accepting black people, man. They was not accepting black people. So, you know, what achievement is that, man? That's begging, like, I want to be in the force. I want to be in the force. I know you don't want to let me in there, but I want to be in the force.
Right.
That's not an achievement, man. And let me tell you something for all of you online, man. In the I.S.U.P.K, we achieve, man.
Right.
In One West, we achieve. And if you want to achieve, you got to be right here, man.
Right.
This is where real achievements happen, man. When you put those drugs down, that's an achievement, man.
Right.
When you come in, you're all black and you keep these commandments, that is an achievement, man.
Right.
What you seeing right there, I don't hate her. You know what I mean? But that's not an achievement, man.
Right.
That is begging at its best. And you know what I mean? I'm not knocking that, you know what I mean? She's not in here. So you know what I mean? But that is not an achievement, man. You cannot look at that and say that is an achievement.
Right.
You begged. You had to, you mean you're saying it that on the application you had to write you're black.
Right.
So what achievement is that really, man? And that's something, you know, we all gotta wake up to and understand, man.
So like if I could. So you mean to say 60 years from back then, nothing's changed now, man? Because what? We're still begging our oppressor, oh, give me a job. She had to write on the form, I'm black. And people in England have the cheek to say, oh, it's not about color. It's definitely about color, man. Stop and search is about color. Her begging to be in the police force is about color. And I guarantee you, she probably was a better police officer, even though she shouldn't be a police officer. She probably was a better police officer than all of them ones, man.
That's right.
And they're only giving her credit wide. Really, what they're showing us with this is, this black woman was a police officer. I think more of you should become police officers. because they want us to do what? Oppress our own people, man. How about listen? How about I not be a police officer? I'll be an officer in the I.S.U.P.K, man.
That's
Whereas
right.
a police officer's job is to do what? Arrest black people. Whereas being an officer in the I.S.U.P.K, your job is to do what? Save black people, man. I'd rather save black people than arrest them. I'd rather teach black people, yo, don't be a drug dealer and don't sell drugs, than be a police officer, which means I have to arrest them. I'd rather do it this way so I don't have to arrest them. I just teach them, don't sell drugs, don't do this, don't do that. That's what we would rather do, man. Instead of having some white man tell us, yeah, go out and your target today is stop and search 10 black people, plant drugs on 10 black people. I'd rather not do that, man. I'd rather be an officer in the UPK and tell black people, listen, man, God loves you, man, and stop selling drugs and separate from the oppressor. And you come and join us. You men come and join us and be officers in here, man. Instead of being a police officer in a force that don't like you,
That's right.
in a force that don't want you, in a force that's only got you there to fill out the quota. Because really, they ran a ton of racist jokes behind their back, man. Do you really think her with the Jamaican accent could go and arrest EDL, man? Right. Listen, man, them police feel a way. They would feel a way that a black woman has come here and she's trying to arrest white people who so-called run the world, man. That's right. Like our oppressor believes that this world is his and he runs it, and black people are scum. So why would they even allow a black person to arrest them? If anything, they would have to allow a white person to arrest white people. Right. Whereas I guaranteed she was there as a spy in the black community. Right. She was there as a spy to, find out where they hide the ganja or whatnot. She finds out where they hide the ganja and so forth. I guarantee you that's what she was there for. And that's why they're trying to get what? More black people in the police force. And us as black people, there's just naturally something in us that we don't like the police. It's naturally in us that if you're a police officer, you can't be around us, man. Right. So don't be a police officer, you can't be around us.
All right, we're almost at the end of it. We got a video next about black-owned businesses. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into that next, and then we'll. I gotta get out that white boy from Glasgow. I can't let it go, man. I'm sorry.
I need to hear one of his songs. He must have Instagram or something. I need to hear it. I don't want to hear it, but I need to hear it just to
Yeah, just for conscience sake.
Yeah, just have to hear what it's on about.
All right, so this is, it's a video about black business, how we need to support each other, man. So, like before, we play the video, us as black people, we are all that we have, man.
Right.
So, I don't want to hear well, in that shop, they sell it for this and that. You know what? Why don't you just buy it for this and that, man?
Right.
Why? Because we are all we got, man. If you don't support your shop, then who will?
Right.
Man, that's something that we need to understand, man. You know what I mean? So we're gonna run this video here.
Looking up for representation, like there's these things, the barrier from a psychological level, and that is through looking up for representation. Like there are a lot of examples if you dig deep and you know where to look. Like you already spoke about the Legacy Centre that Cypher's doing an amazing job with, and there's countless examples. But sometimes it is hard to see when you just look out in society and you're passing all the businesses and you're looking up at all the things that are making noise, and they're not necessarily people that look like us. So sometimes that becomes an internal barrier that we have to fight ourselves, and I have to fight that every day myself as well, because sometimes I'm in an industry that's represented by less than 3% of people of colour. So when you're trying to fit into or make your space in a place that doesn't have anyone that necessarily looks like you, it's hard, man. It makes you feel like, should I be here? And even when you decide to say to yourself, you know what, I do deserve to be here and I want to be here, you still feel uncomfortable as hell. And it's about trying to work as hard as you can to make sure that that place is solidified, and you kick out that imposter syndrome.
There you go, man. You know what I mean? And that's something that we need to understand, that, if we don't support each other, then guess what? No one else will, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to hear no nonsense about where are the black shops. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say this, man. The black shops where you wasn't in them, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say, where's the black home business? Well, you wasn't in them.
Right.
You know what I mean? We would have had them if you was in there. You know what I mean? But you wasn't in there. That's why we don't have him. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, man. You know what I mean? Now, as black people, we need more. And when there is something, you're not buying from it, man.
Right.
It's too expensive, you know, now, man. And then when it's shut, you see, man, we gotta work together. Well, you wasn't in the shop, mate.
Right.
You wasn't there. What are we talking about, man? You know what I mean? So this is
So let me say let me say one thing before we go on black business. As I mentioned in this in class the other day, on the surface, it looks like black shops are expensive. But if you find out what's going on beneath the surface, let's say the East Indian man, he gets a tin of beans for what? Four packs for 30 pence. Whereas the black man gets one tin of beans for 50p. He can't sell it for 50p because he ain't making no profit. So he has to sell his for 80 pence. So that's all you see is the 80 pence. Then you see the East Indian man's is 50 pence. So you'd be like, yo, I'm going to him, I'm saving 30 pence. You thinking this man's trying to rob you when he's not. Then what does the East Indian man see? He sees, you know what? The black man's got beans in there for 80 pence. How about I make 2 tins of beans for 50p? And then what happens? You all go to the East Indian and buy his beans and not the black man's. And then guess what happens? This black man's shop has to close down because no one ain't supporting him. And that's how it goes. You just think it's expensive. If you knew what was going on beneath the surface with the building he's renting off these Asians because he can't afford to own the building. Whereas these Asians do what? He's in that building for free, so he don't have to pay the rent. His people work in the warehouses. He don't need to air that food. He's got that food on tick where they give him that food and they say, yeah, just give me the money back when you sell it. This black man has to buy his products up front from the same warehouse that the East Indian man who's got the shop over the road goes to. But the thing is this, they understand that the brothers, so this East Indian man understands the black man's not his brother, so he'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I got this bargain. He makes you think it's a bargain, sells the black man for extortion, gives it to his brother for what? A quarter of the price. So he can sell it a quarter of the price. And then us like being above the surface, all we see is his beans is 80p and his is 40p.
That's right.
We see, you know what? I'm going to buy the 40p one because I'm not giving him 80p when this man's got it for 40p. And the East Indian man's laughing at you when you leave his shop, man. They're saying, these black people are stupid, bro. These black people are stupid, bro. And then what happens now? He lowers his price, 2 tins for the price of 1. You go and buy 2 tins. This black man goes out of business. And this is why every shop in the ghetto is what? Owned by East Indians, man. The grocery shop. Can you imagine putting a Caribbean shop in Chinatown? These Chinese people would run you out of Chinatown, man. Run you out of Chinatown by what? Not supporting you. Your shop would be empty for the whole day. No Chinese man ain't gonna come buy curry goat and rice in Chinatown when he can get egg fried rice off his own people. We the only people that support other nations, and they come in our neighborhood. What we need to do is be willing to walk a mile further down the road to go to a black man shop. And then what would happen? This East Indian man would have to give the shop, sell the shop to us, man. He would have to be like, you know what? I came into the ghetto. I'm not making no money. Here, I'll sell you the shop for half price. And then we're going to say, nah, we don't want it for half price. We want it for a quarter of the price. And he's going to have to sell it to us. Why? Because he's not making no money. In the ghetto, what you will see is every shop you go to, whether it be Handsworth, look on Soho Road, man. Every shop's owned by them East Indians. Look on Lazar's Road. Every shop's owned by the Packies. Even got Pack Supermarket. And in some of them shops, listen, there's a shop called Mr. Khan's on Dudley Road. They got an old black woman about my grandma's age sweeping the floor, man. Have you seen her in there sweeping the floor?
Seen it, yeah.
An old black woman sweeping the floor, man. I went in there, man. I wanted to pick her up and take her out of there, man. I had to pick her up and take her out of there, man, and say, come on, man, sis, you don't need to do this, man. And that's how they treat our people. So what's going to happen in our kingdom? I'm going to have East Indians sweeping my floor, man. They're going to have that bindi on their forehead, and they're going to have on that sari, and they're going to be sweeping our floor, man. I'm not going to be able to understand their language, but they're going to understand. You take this broom and sweep the floor, man. That's all they need to understand. You sweep this floor, and you might get a rupee or whatever. I was going to say something.
Yeah, man. And what I also noticed with black folk and black businesses, obviously, I'm in a trade. I do mechanics, innit? And every black person comes to me and says, "Oh, why don't you open your own shop? Why don't you open your own business?" And I'm like, "Yo, yeah." I'm like, "Yo." By the time I know what black people are, you know what I'm saying? They give me problems all the well.
That's what.
they're the ones who are most likely to give me problems when I'm working on their car and doing things, you know what I'm saying? Because it might take me a bit extra longer to get the part because I'm not an established business like that. I'm not established with the part shops and whatsoever. So you like would have to bear with me to for me to sort your car out and things like that. But you're expecting A1 service like my established garage and things like that. You're not understanding that I need to build up myself, and our people don't have the patience. You know what I'm saying? They'll be running you down. One time during coronavirus, yeah, but it was running me down saying, "Yo, his car broke down and this and that." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, "Oh, I need someone to come out." So I said, I was reluctant to do it because I know how black folk are. You know what I'm saying? But he's running me down, so I said, "I'll do it." You get me? So I went there, I fixed his car, and he said, "Oh, take it. Um, drive it for a day or two and service it and X, Y, and Z." As soon as I drove it off, yeah, he's ringing me about an hour later. Oh, this and that. My battery was dead, you know what I'm saying? So by the time I get home, it's like, oh, I nearly called the police because I didn't know where you was with your car, you know what I mean? So our people don't even trust us, you know what I'm saying, with their things. Whereas they're just the packing man. They're just the white man, you know what I'm saying? But they give us hassle. That's why a lot of us don't even want to open up no business, man. Because it's our people who giving us the hassle. So we need to fix that, man.
That's right, man. You know what I mean? White said was right, man. And in the I.S.U.P.K, we fix that, man. You know what I mean? We fix things that religions can't fix, man. So this is episode 29 of On the Ends, man. You know what I mean? Myself, Captain Parashia, Officer Dungabar.
Captain Mashak said, "I want to have the package packing."
Yo, it's like we had the Warhead Captain Mashak, my young man. You know what I mean? How could I forget that, man? I mean, breaking it down, man, about the Glasgow rapper. You know what I mean?
That's
right. Can't get better than that, man. I mean, Officer Dungabar, and we got Kwazar in the building too, man. Right. Excellent reading too, man. Right. So with that, you know what I mean? We're gonna end it a little different, man. You know what I mean? End it with some Scousematic, man. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't want to hear no Glasgow BS, man.
See what it's saying, man.
You know what I mean? You're gonna hear.
Yeah,
you know.
No, that's someone else. That's someone else.
No. It's not the Glasgow guy. Nah. We're not playing that. Never. Even in the kingdom to come, they ain't playing that. Let me just run. All right. The speaker on. Actually, you know what? The water don't go. I'll play that one instead. Actually, let's screenshot.
Yeah, you can do.
On the ends, 29, man.
Yo, I stepped in with no dough, just 2 ounces on tip. And access to the chrome 3/5. Like, let a nigga try me, bet he ends up with his face all on his whip. But no one wanted to try me, cause they knew I'd let it bang and kinda slimy. Catch me creeping out a whip. Soon as you see me, you see the stick. Bang. Never been pranked, chased him while he's with his nan and tried to get him near them for making threats towards the gang. Jumped on the music, started spitting what I live. Now nearly half the income it makes legit. Might just fuck around and buy a crib. These niggas ain't buying shit. You better buy a stick before you start buying shit. You get sucked. And with no stick, you be fucked. Don't even come around the gang with bad vibes. Ask him when I came on him, how many times he got joked, and he'll tell you I don't really give a fuck. No, since a kid I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and now I'm ballin'. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up. Now all these niggas bitches wanna fuck. Cause from a kid I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and now I'm ballin'. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up. Now all these niggas bitches wanna fuck.
You're big in that. Lazy niggas just wanna piggyback. It's crazy. Crazies niggas don't wanna give me that. Babies, I made a big impact. Straight from the pavements. If it ain't me, then who's got the payments? And the man ain't gone entertain that. Straight fake entertainment. Failures used to be soldiers. Jumped out the spaceship, thought we were aliens. Creep with the ghost, cause it used to be Canaan. And no DMX Faith used to be Damien. Bag of those flavors, stand up with soldiers and they owe favors. Better know that man ain't gonna take no. This is called man want slag off man's alias. Break up the cookie them. We won't pray for the pussy them. Gunshot for you Peter Pans. Straight put a hook in them. Snakes in the grasses, snake in the grass, get away from the darkness. Yeah, heartless, HB and arsonists, Stacy and shaking their asses. Yeah, the good as boom boom. She knock on that door, like do do dum dum. And holler that boss, you know how I flex. 20 grand room, yeah. Nighttime creep cause we're foxes. They took the boxes straight up to Toxted. Trapped till it's breakfast, wait for the frosties. Don't ask the cost cause the cost kinda costly.
As a kid, I've never really give a fuck. All I knew for sure is that I need to get a plug. Man got that plug and now I'm balling. I'm that nigga in the club, I'm next up.